Welcome back to Numbers on the Board.
Numbers on the board, yes.
Usually we got 4 people on the pod. Today we got 5 because Mr. Larry O.B.
The Knicks go up 3-1 and we make phone calls, man. Hey, man. We one step closer. I got to get my early touches because I know once Brunson, Carl Anthony Towns, especially Brunson, my boy a ball hog. So I ain't going to be able to get my feels in. So, you have to go ahead and do that. Because we know damn well Lakers ain't about to touch this year. Bulls ain't about to touch it this year. None of your 18 teams going to touch it this year. So, it's only right. Let me go.
It's insane because, you grow up thinking that you're going to make it to the league to touch this trophy. We did it by just talking into microphones. It's right here. That's crazy, bro.
I did think I would do it other ways. Me dropping 50 points in a closeout game.
Right.
It was all a dream, man. Like I
like Biggie.
Right. I know. It was all a dream. But
it's leaving, right?
I know.
It's all a dream. Like we for the how sometimes you go into certain arenas and they still got
I wish we could keep one. That would be dope.
You got to get the replica.
You actually got to make it to the league then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got some work.
Would you rather have this or a ring?
This.
You mean like to keep?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is 100%.
Yeah.
I put that in. Yeah.
Because I don't think I would wear the ring often.
Yeah.
I would.
This would just be in the background of every shot I've ever put together.
Yeah.
Like in
That's
my
true.
studio,
That's
just be
true.
back there. Just like them sports Emmys that our boy Anthony got. Like, yes.
And they gonna be like, how the hell did you get that?
Right, yeah.
Now, the couple of things I'm going to say, because I know a lot of people going to see this, they're going to have questions. Yes, it is heavy. I came late. I had Harold and Kumar type activities to get to work today. But I got here. I'm trying to rush so we can hurry up and do the show. And they're like, you want to get your pictures? I'm like, yeah. So I'm thinking I'm about to just lift something up real quick and just do all these poses. But no, that was a little workout.
Yeah, it's a little 30 pounds.
Way more detailed than I think you know from watching on TV as well. Because this at the bottom, is this all the teams?
Yep, engraved all the way around. And
So
on the front, it got the current champs.
I don't think from TV when they holding it up, I don't see that. And yeah, it's just kind of
Mike, you give us your best. We did
weird.
We did it.
There we go.
No, we're not doing that. Yeah. My man's just hurt himself.
I'm not making fun of him. That's a big moment. They did it.
People's
That's not who I am.
That was the last thing I
That's
thought
not who I
about
am.
was making fun of Jason
no,
Tatum.
I wasn't making fun of Tatum.
You were saying we did it.
We did it.
but that's like a thing that people say to.
That's
No,
what
I'm not
Twitter
those
be
people.
saying.
Yeah, I'm
You
not
saw
those
when he was streaming with Duke Dennis and Agent, and they was doing,
I actually didn't know. When was that?
That was at All-Star Weekend.
Was it All Star?
Yeah.
And they was like, we did it. And
He did a live stream
He
with
was
them
over there
Twitch.
laughing.
Oh,
Because
no.
he knew,
I didn't mean that in a negative way, but like, you know,
I didn't either.
It's a big accomplishment to touch this trophy, to hold this trophy, and we got it here. At least for today's show, we got to do a little extra to get it back here. I guess we actually do got to do it.
Let's do it.
Expansion, Las Vegas team.
Well, Christian said
No,
something
we
about
got the
hooping.
Naperville team.
Christian said something about hooping, and the KB instantly.
Nah.
I'm not playing.
Yeah, nah.
So
I
you
didn't
ain't
say-
never
I didn't
gonna
say
touch
But you
too
know what's
many-
the craziest thing though, P? And I swear everybody probably up here heard it. Every time we be at the All-Star game, they be asking KB if you want to be in the celebrity game. He be, I'll be there next year.
Yep.
I'm going to get ready. I'll be there next
Yep.
year.
Are you going to get ready?
No,
Nah.
he's not going to get
If
ready.
he don't want to do some content, how the hell you gonna go out there?
It's the celebrity. They don't be physical.
But
It's
we
not
don't be
about
physical
that.
either.
Yeah, it's not about that.
Don't nobody be in
I
there.
done
gonna
seen
play-
too many dads tear ACLs, break hands, just playing rec league or playing pickup.
But
I'm
you
just
got to go
against
for
it.
contact.
They
in
go
that.
way
You don't
harder
do
than you as
contact.
well.
I don't know, bro.
You're a corner sitter.
My shoulder injury, I wasn't doing nothing crazy.
You went for a block.
Is that crazy?
Yeah, well,
And
yeah.
I tore my shoulder twice.
I mean,
doing nothing.
It ain't crazy.
I was
but-
guarding Jeff in New York. Remember we did the RDC shoot? I was just guarding Jeff, and my shoulder popped out. I'm good. I'm got other ways to fit that
Little
cardio,
ass
man.
shoulder little as hell. I was feeding the baby and it just popped out.
Hey, man. It's genetic. My dad got bad shoulders. I got bad shoulders.
My shoulder dislocated as a kid once.
What
What were you doing?
I think my sisters, I don't know, something happened with my sisters. They told me about
Wrestling.
it. And they popped it out. And then they said they freaked out, but they popped it back in.
Yeah.
And they never told my mom about it.
It's an easy process, but you can really mess yourself up doing it yourself if you don't know what you're doing.
But my shoulders feel fine.
You good now?
Your jump shot ain't never been corrected, but
It's been corrected.
Shoulder actually felt better once they did it.
I did wake up, my neck hurt.
if
though.
I put $500 on Mike in a 3-point contest between you, who wins that?
Me.
That's stupid.
Wow. He said it. You see how he said it? I like the confidence too. I'm not saying you're wrong either.
I'm a sniper, baby. Once I get that
All
rhythm
right.
going.
All right.
Now he just
all
talking.
right. All
Once I
right.
get
They
that
went from
rhythm
winning
going.
to now
Yeah,
you
yeah,
Steph
sniper.
Curry.
Come
You know
on,
what
man.
used to be the funnest game back in the day? We used to do the 3-point shootouts.
Yeah.
Oh, the teammate.
And you got a
three-point shootout around
rebound.
the
Yeah.
room.
It'll be fun when it was me and Mike Mason on the team, and it'll be like KB and John, because you know John, they
John
can't.
could- yeah.
They can't.
Either one
Both
can
of them can't
shoot.
shoot.
Damn, y'all just handicapped them.
They getting threes off
I think I
backboard.
still got old videos of us four doing it.
It's a fun game.
It is.
What was
fun.
the teams?
I don't know.
I
Probably
think maybe
switched
I
it up.
know.
KB.
Was it? I think it was me and D Mills.
Yeah,
It
versus
was me and D
KB.
Mills, because I remember you and D Mills kind of squared off.
That's hilarious though for you to call yourself. The last memory I have of all four of us like really, really hooping, like seriously
At
against other
Export?
people, is that day you decided you were a sniper. You took all jump shots and you missed every single one of them.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Snipers don't do that.
Every sniper.
Snipers
had,
don't do
every
that.
every sniper had a bad day.
What
Not
game
in
was that where
X.
Jokic went like 0 for
10. That was
He's
couple
not a
nights
fucking
ago.
sniper. He's not a
Shoot over
sniper.
40%. So he
And what did he do when he was missing? He
got-
took his ass.
He took
But
his
He
ass
actually
down
took
low.
way more than I thought. When you go 0 for 5, I'm thinking you're gonna change it.
But you didn't even say like what his response was when we brought
to
up.
keep shooting.
He said, I just feel like shooting.
You're going against 47-year-old white men who are I ain't gonna say 5'10", and your response is, I'm gonna shoot
Hey,
threes.
Jace Richardson high. That's crazy.
Jason
But let
Richardson.
an NBA player settle on a mismatch.
He be the main one, man. Jason Tatum, he about to do the step back.
Give us some take. We got a lot to get to in this episode. We got the NBA draft lottery. We got playoffs. We got potentially one of the best players in the world moving to a different team. A lot to get to. But before we do that, let's do drop the mic.
A new generation of Toyota drivers are here, and they want you to know one thing. You can't stop my drive. Toyota, let's go places.
Today's Drop the Mic presented by Toyota. Yes, this is a crazy shot with the little trophy in there. I know it looks good. What player has
It's
experienced?
real good because that's how far your team is from it.
It's really not that
The
far
camera
away.
angle shows a distance. It ain't next to
It's
you.
really not that far away. I could low key. You see, it's kind of like I'm grabbing it. But what player has exceeded expectations this postseason for y'all?
Easily Aaron Gordon. I didn't think he would be shooting the ball this well. I didn't think he would be playing. This dude has hit game winners and everything. Aaron Gordon has been like a star for the Denver Nuggets this postseason, and I honestly did not expect that coming in.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. My answer will be Julius Randle.
Him too, yeah.
He's been all that and more for them. You know, you get the stretches where Anthony Edwards is not looking like himself, and then he'll hold it down, and then Anthony Edwards to drop 15 points in the third quarter. And it's like, okay, I got us to this point, and you take us home. And, of course, we all know what the narratives were around his name. And then you kind of look back on some of those series when he played for the Knicks. Like, one of them, he was injured, and the other one is just the other one. So it was a very small sample size for people to say, like, well, this is who he is as a player. So it's got to be him because he's changed all of that. And they'll probably never bring up those first two series when he was a Knick because they're one game away from being in the conference finals.
Yeah. I mean, Halliburton has also been amazing this postseason run, too. I think
Is that a surprise, though?
the way he's been closing out games, too, has been amazing. He's hit some really big shots for this Pacers team. Even from hitting the game winner on Giannis, hitting the game winner against Ty Jerome. Like, he's really done some, like, big boy shit in this post run.
What's your question?
What players exceeded expectations?
Exceeded. Okay. Probably Mitchell Robinson. I know
That's a
Mitchell
really
Robinson
good one,
can't make a free throw, but just the impact that he has had when he's played for the Knicks has completely made them a different team. You looked at all the different things we went through in the regular season. He legitimately makes us different. So, I'll say Mitchell Robinson. Now, on the opposite side, it's probably Ty Jerome. That's why I had to make sure that you said exceed. That's my boy. Everybody know I love me some Ty Jerome. He's had a tough playoffs, which I kind of feel for him because this is the point I wanted him to even go even crazier.
Yeah.
But that's been a surprise for me too, the Ty Jerome performance. But you said exceed, so I'll go Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson's been amazing. The minutes that he's played is like plus like 50 something. I think I read a couple days ago, and that was before last night's game, so it might even be higher. He just impacts the game on the defensive side of the ball way too much. He did end up making his own edit and not last game, but the game before that on Mother's Day when he airballed the free throw and he went down to his knees. I'm like, you can't do that because that's gonna get clipped up. Luckily they winning, so maybe it don't get clipped up.
Those are some bad misses though, like real bad.
Well, when you're a 34% shooter, there, it's not. I think all your misses gonna be bad. You don't get 34% if you just
he's shooting
out.
it. He's shooting it like the same way.
Like no adjustments.
I know guys like can't shoot free throws, and that's okay. But the way he the way he goes about it, I'm like, who is like working with him?
They was like, what is he working on in the offseason? It was that clip of him doing like a hezzy tween, turn around 3-point
Step back
The shot's so like it's like he's trying to throw it in there. It's no arc or nothing. You'll have so much better opportunities with the arc. You might start splitting. 34%.
Just Rick Barry it.
Yeah.
At least
do
The science
something.
say the Rick Barry is the way to go.
I don't like Rick
Yeah,
Barry.
when you got
'Cause
the
he's
arc,
gotta
you
have
give yourself
arc
a
on it
chance
if he's
for a
doing
lucky
it that way,
bounce or
right?
something.
Rick
You
Barry.
just gotta have that soft touch.
Yeah. You throwing it, that's why it's airball and it's just going straight. But his arms is too long for the Rick Barry.
That's why it's better. He's basically 2 feet away from the rim if he just extend his arms.
I
Lay
seen
up.
somebody had
Lay up.
commented on Twitter, and this is about Giannis and free throws. There's like, I can't wait for the day he just tries jumping with his free throw because there's no rule against it.
Well, Giannis, he's too big to be
Yes.
jumping with his free throw.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
His mid-range jump shot is so good that like maybe jumping on the free throw does make sense. It's just like it's the optics, right? You don't want to do the Rick Barry because
Yeah.
you look like a kid. You don't want to jump at the free throw line because you look like a kid.
The
7-year-old
Rick
jump at the
Barry
free throw
shit is
line.
hard. Forget how it
No,
looks.
the
I
science
think
say
it's
that
better. I think it's
everybody
better
that's
than
done
how
it.
he's shooting it now. He would shoot a better percentage.
Say it again.
If he shot the Rick Barry for a season, I think he would shoot a better free throw
It
percentage.
can't get much worse than what he got right now, too. 34% is nuts.
You pull the Mason Plumlee and go left-handed, but I don't think that would work for him at all.
Yeah, no.
Just put some arc on the shot. Like, just put arc on it. Just put arc on it.
Yeah, Jeremy Sohan struggled, and he changed his
The
form.
one-handed.
Yeah, the one hand.
And that helped his percentages.
Yeah.
How much?
He
though?
shoots. I didn't know. I think he was up to like 70%.
That's actually crazy of him.
Yeah, I
doing
think he
one
jumped
hand.
up to like 70s.
What the hell was his guide hand doing to impact him that much?
Flicking. Some people are guide hand flickers.
How did y'all get y'all little free throw routines?
I went to the free throw line
Practice.
twice in my high school career, so I don't have a routine.
I had a summer where I kept getting fouled heavily. It was a lot of rim pressure. Took a step in my game.
Teach us something to Donovan Mitchell.
I did. Not Donovan Mitchell, but I was getting like my sophomore year. I made a crazy jump as far as free throw attempts,
Same.
but I wasn't ready. So what I was doing was I was having instances where I'll make them, but then I'll have some where like I'll miss both. It was just very inconsistent. So Coach Lavick, rest in peace,
Rest in peace, Coach Lavick.
had me come to practice 10 and 15 minutes before.
Coach, look what we got, bro.
Every day.
Thank you.
And I would shoot nothing but free throws, and I would have to make a certain amount straight. So by doing that, it just got me into my routine. I tried a bunch of different things because it got to the point where it was like, he's like, maybe it's a mental thing. So just get you, let yourself.
That just reminded me, we had a coach that like, I'm sure we probably did this in high school too, where practice doesn't end until everybody on the 8 rims hit their free throw.
Everybody's done that, yeah.
And I swear to you, I'm not gonna say
And
his
if you
name.
miss, you got to run.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say his name, but it's somebody y'all know, and this is before high school.
You should say his name. Why do you want to say his name?
Because I don't want to. It's bad publicity. He ended up on the
15 years
8th
ago.
rim, and
Yeah,
we
he
got
did.
to 8 like
This is-
3 fucking times.
But no, this is like 2 people that I think of that would always be at the end and they would always kind of miss.
But I'm sure there's going to be people in the comments that flooded to let us know that they were in the same. I feel like every team had that one guy
we had a couple.
that would always get to the I forgot who that was for us, but yeah, we had a very long practice. Like our coach was mad, and he wasn't. We must have lost because we missed free throws,
We had a morning practice
and he put our guy there for a
on,
reason.
on purpose.
Yeah,
like
he
put
put
the
him
pressure
there
on.
for a reason.
That's
And
smart.
It seemed like our coach did that too sometimes.
our coach also, shout out to my boy Nate Andrews, our sophomore year. He was the point guard, and our coach, that's the coach who played pro, Coach Stisu. He was on his ass.
Is
He's
he
like, man,
he coaching the Grizzlies right now?
no.
Oh.
What the hell? Where did that come from?
It sounds like Isalo.
Oh, nah.
Oh.
He has a program called Breakaway Basketball in Illinois. But yeah, bro. He like put so much pressure on that. You gonna be the starting point guard? All right, come here. Practice ain't over. He got to make 2 free throws. If he don't, y'all run and we doing it again. And I remember, boy, it was one practice. Nate Boy, he could not get. Coach was on his ass.
We had
was
that one,
running.
and then we had the one where we
running.
had to line up on the baseline the whole
That's
team.
what I'm talking about. But Nate had to go. He would usually somebody else,
we
but
had to do that
because he
with
was
the
the point guard, he
whole
kept making. He had to make 2.
Yeah, I airballed that free throw once.
Man,
On the free throw line one?
oh,
I
you
remember
bogus.
D Mills.
Bogus as hell. You a guard.
It might have been D Mills who
By
I remember
definition.
missing one time, but it was either D Mills or it was one of our other big men.
Were you a good free throw shooter?
I thought it was decent.
Was he a good free throw shooter?
I would say so. I mean,
don't know.
compared to
I
like
couldn't
high school bigs, he was pretty good. It ain't like he's Steph Curry again. He's not a sniper that he
But you
claimed
probably
to be
didn't
10
shoot a
minutes
bunch
ago.
of free throws anyway. So I don't know why I'm asking.
But I also always was able to shoot, so it wasn't that hard.
What?
Let's get to the draft lottery, man. The draft lottery took over the internet. Where do we even start? The Dallas Mavericks win number 1.
I
Number
needed
2.
this.
Okay.
I needed this. I'm gonna be very real with you right now.
Okay.
I'm not even on no funny shit. Because we didn't go to the draft combine,
Still hurts my heart.
I was highly upset, pissed off, whatever other adjectives you can use to describe it. That I didn't give a fuck. I barely gave a fuck about this draft lottery.
That's the luxury of your team being good too.
My interest just wasn't on shit. But when this happened, it kind of gave me something to boost me up for the draft. I was kind of over the draft. Still kind of am. Y'all know how much the draft mean to me, so to miss out on that shit irritates the fuck out of me. But this does make shit interesting. We got the 76ers, the Mavs, the Spurs. That was really dope. I don't understand the logic of y'all, though.
What do you mean?
What's up?
Y'all was in a fucking group chat. We gonna jump up. We gonna jump up.
You need
At-
to have blind
At-
optimism
at
as a fan.
12, that's just tough to ask for.
Well, the
Dallas
team
Mavericks
right
did.
in front of us did.
That's because it's a situation.
I'm sure we
where,
could get into that conversation in a
You
minute.
know what I'm
here.
saying?
But yeah, the Dallas Mavericks win the lottery. Number 2 is going to the Spurs. Number 3 is going to the 76ers. And then basically every team that really tanked on purpose failed 4 spots as
Yeah,
far as you can really
That's
fall.
that's actually the most craziest part. That the teams who actually were bad, it's like being bad and you don't get rewarded for it. Like I mean,
That was kind of the idea of the flattened odds in the first place.
Yeah.
They wanted to counter tanking. And
I
teams
mean,
was like, nah, we
Charlotte-
going to still
Charlotte's still in there,
do it. Sure.
but
They
like,
not where they want. Charlotte did not want to be on the outside of the top 3 though.
No.
yeah,
So those are all losers to me. The Hornets, the Jazz, and the Wizards. That's just the worst case scenario happened. It would have been crazy if the Mavericks just got the number 1 pick, but the Mavericks, Spurs, and Philadelphia are the top 3. So none of those teams are going to get into the conversation of that top 3 that everybody was talking about all college basketball season long.
and it's crazy. All those teams are going to be like relatively good next season.
Say it again.
All those teams are going to be relatively good next season.
It should be.
Yeah. So like,
That's why I heard so much for teams like the Wizards, because it's just like you just had. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think you've seen some stuff you like with the prospects, but you want to add as much as you can to that, and then just kind of falling out on the picks. It just sucks as a franchise after having that type of
I
year.
think it hurts the most for a team like the Jazz.
The Jazz are in the same
The
spot.
Wizards was just there. They just had the 2nd overall pick.
And
The
a not
Jazz
so
have
amazing
not-
draft.
The Jazz have not had.
I think that's really what it is for me that sucks the most is because the Jazz have a bunch of young players. Some of them are interesting, some of them not so much. But they really need a guy to build around.
Yes.
And this is the first year they actually decided to tank for the full season. They lost 65 games in order to fall that much where they could still draft somebody that ends up being a star, I guess. But it's like
the chances
are lower, right? I remember before the season started, people were like, this draft is going to be generational. It's not going to be generational. They got a guy at the top that's like head and shoulders above everybody else. There might be some people that are good, but I remember people were like, yeah, this is one of the best draft classes for a long time. And then those dudes went off to college. Like, actually, this dude, the Jacques Jonas guy, he cool. He a lottery pick, but he ain't what we thought he was going to be. This guy ain't what we thought he was going to be. And now everybody's measuring like a half an inch and 2 inches shorter than what they were listed in college. So some of those dudes you're really excited about, you're like, yeah,
Maybe
he shot
it'll-
42% from
Maybe
three, but
it'll
he might
motivate
height.
people to stop lying.
What'd you say?
Stop lying about your height.
I think I think part of that is also on us because when some of those measurements was dropping, Jonathan Givony from ESPN, he was saying like, we knew this already, but it's solidified. Like when the Cooper Flagg thing dropped, I was like, dang, he said, but Jonathan Gavoni said that they already knew that from the last time that
Right.
they had his measurements. Why Duke still lists him at 6'9", 225?
Maybe it's
I
like
don't know.
maybe it's like a school thing because all our school did that for us.
Yeah, I
For
just
almost
told
everybody,
somebody.
yeah.
So
that
it's
our
like
school
maybe
did
it's
that.
just a school thing or something.
But and then it's also the other part that people forget is it's without shoes. So you'll get some of that size back when
So
you put your shoes
My
on.
question is, when the NBA has their listens,
Yeah,
are those with shoes?
I have no idea. I'm not there.
Okay. Because that's what confusing to me. It's
Because
like,
I have Jalen Brunson says 6'2", which she's probably not 6'2".
We watch him with his shoes on and say he's not 6'2".
he's
though.
not 6'2".
Yeah.
So I would think that the NBA does it with the shoes, though.
Mm-hmm.
I would think so.
Yeah, just because that's like realistically what you're going to be playing in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess.
Then why even take the combine of without the shoes if the shoes are the thing that matters and we're listing everybody else with shoes?
They do a lot of things at the combine that I don't think always means anything, but it's a part of the process.
You care
that
about
they do
hand
it.
size?
Huh?
You care
Yeah.
about hand size?
Yeah.
It's interesting, but
Are
I
you a
don't.
scout? You drafting?
I don't-
No,
do-
but I like measurements like that. I think I said that on the podcast before. Like I look at weird measurements, especially when it's like long wingspan. Like
So my question to you,
yeah.
somebody's hand size being
Cooper Flagg got little hands. You're not drafting
Right, that's what I
him.
mean.
No.
Okay.
I think
But
more
like a guy
so
like
when I look
Kawhi,
at
you look at him and see
when
his
I'm
big
looking
ass
at later
hands.
in the draft.
What did that mean, though?
I think you saw how much it helped them on the defensive side of the ball.
He's an anomaly.
But
too,
it
though.
also makes you.
Well,
Well,
Kawhi
in
Leonard-
Rondo's sense, he wasn't able to shoot free throws because his hands
Well,
were
yeah,
so
Rondo,
damn big.
yeah.
Kawhi Leonard went what pick? 15th?
Yeah, right after Paul George, right?
No. Paul George was the 10th pick.
So a few picks after Paul George.
No, they weren't in the same
No, it's a
draft
different
class.
draft class.
Because he got traded for George Hill.
Yes.
Paul
yeah.
George and Kawhi, 15th, like I said, yeah. So I don't think it was like an obvious thing at his hand side because he probably wouldn't have went 15th. But like even a guy like Rasheer Fleming, he's like a video game character with his measurements.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like
kind of
6'8"
nuts.
with a
I know this is a bad
7',
example, but like
5'7", 6" wings. That's a 2K.
Patrick Williams'
field.
measurements would have probably been like, okay,
Well,
there's
he
some
got-
shit to.
yeah, he
He
got
got
it's intriguing
drafted
about.
because he looks like Kawhi
Yeah,
Leonard.
Yeah, really
yeah.
measures.
I would be one of the. I would be one of those like dudes that draft kind of like that. Not always for a top pick.
So you
but-
would always draft projects.
No,
like a
I'm
Patrick
just
Williams.
not always for a top pick. But if I was looking and I'm trying to find something in if I have a pick in the 20s or late in the second round, I'm looking at that type of stuff as just I don't know. I
Physical
guess like
tools over
yeah.
everything.
I don't
That-
know
yeah.
if I'm drafting late. I'm taking like those 4-year guys, the guys who I know coming in
I guess
ready.
it depends on where I am as a team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah,
much
true.
context has to be there.
If I'm a good team, that makes sense. If I'm a team like the Jazz and I somehow got the 55th pick, I'd go get a
Yeah, project,
foreign-born
yeah.
guy that's 18 years old. Just
Yeah,
take the
no.
swing because it won't matter in the grand scheme. Not a guaranteed contract after year number one.
Yeah.
But if I'm the Knicks or something,
Yeah.
hell yeah, I'll draft a 4-year guy.
I
again.
am getting less and less on the project side, though. I think the project side get a little bit overrated, to be honest with you, personally. I think there's.
I think it's a good experiment to like go back through draft classes and figure out how many projects worked.
I think there's just the way that the NBA is. I don't even think a lot of teams be needing to take the swings that they take. I think there's so much value in just getting somebody that's good. So many teams want the project because of the upside. Man, he could be like Giannis, but it's like, dog.
And he's Stom Maker.
Like it's just get something that's solidified that you know at the least I'm getting X and X. And then if he can turn into an all-star, that's even better. But I think this teams that take these constant swings, we look back and be like, man, if they didn't do this or if they didn't do that, you know what I mean? I think it's value in being able to just get a Cam Johnson like the Suns. There's just value in I was talking to a dude yesterday. He's not the biggest fan of Rasheer Fleming. And I'm like, that's fine. But like, you kind of know what you're going to be able to get. I think that's the intrigue. You look so much overanalyze. He don't do this. He can't put the ball in this. The rim pressure was this. His percentage of usage rate. It's like, but he's going to defend his ass off. In offense, he has a world where he's not going to be a liability. Like I like prospects like that, where like I know the floor is going to be X and Y. He's going to defend 3 to 4 positions potentially, or multiple positions, and I can put him in a corner, and there's a world where he can shoot 38, 40% from 3.
Yeah.
That's all you can. We watch the playoffs showing us like some guys can't be on the floor. I want guys that can be on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple.
Let's go back to the actual lottery. The Dallas Mavericks end up winning it. Just 2 months after trading Luka Doncic away, they get Cooper Flagg, which is just insane.
It's just a
to-
blessing.
I love the
think
conspiracy
about.
theories.
I love
Me
it too.
too.
I love it too. Because I started wondering too.
This
I
is
like
one of the few
these.
times what made me actually think about it.
Yeah.
I thought the whole Luka trade seemed weird to begin with.
Yeah.
And then this does nothing but make you even think a little bit more.
But that's the part of the conspiracy that I don't know if I'm that far into it. I'd look at it from this second half of it. I've seen people try to connect the conspiracy all the way to the Luka trade, which I'm not saying anybody is wrong, because that could very well be it too.
It's just
But
so much
there's-
tougher because Kyrie Irving got injured and Anthony Davis
Yeah.
got injured. It's like no way you build that into the story. Kyrie Irving tearing his Achilles,
Yeah.
you can't control that.
Yeah.
In order to
No,
really-
that stuff, yeah.
right?
ACL, I'm sorry.
ACL.
ACL. Everybody else got an Achilles, so my fault.
But I could see a world where they traded Luka, the NBA world and the fans went ballistic. He got to get security outside of his house and at the games. And it's like, okay, to dump some of this down, because we couldn't stop that trade, like Adam Silver told us, we're going to offset it by getting y'all Cooper Flagg.
See, I seen the
That
other
part
side
of it, I'm like, okay.
where it's just like, this is part of the payments for the Luka trade.
No,
And
that's
some-
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can't get hip all the way with that one, but the
Yeah.
second half, because that's like KB said, that's a lot of
Yeah.
work.
It is a lot of
Kyrie
work.
got hurt. Anthony Davis got hurt in game one. You got to connect all those dots.
Right. Yeah,
I
actually,
can see
yeah.
it being a lot easier. Where it's like we see the reaction to this trade, we couldn't stop it. This has gotten out of control. So to make up for it, you get Cooper Flagg. But
Some of the other ones throughout history, I just didn't buy. Like the Pelicans winning the lottery the year that Anthony Davis requested trade. Another situation where the Lakers got the best player and then the team that traded away the best player gets the first overall pick. It's a bit weird. 2008, 1.7% chance the Bulls end up getting their
Comes
home court
home.
guy. Home time guy. 2003, same thing. And then you got the one where the Cleveland Cavaliers win the lottery the year Braun is
LeBron,
coming back.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, now we can pair Braun with somebody, and that somebody ends up being Kevin Love. So there's a bunch of different things, but because there are so many, it makes me think that it's not a conspiracy.
the other part of it too is, don't y'all think it would be more?
That's I was gonna say, like, a question that comes to mind is
I
how many players or how
Remember
many
the
times
Bucks got the first overall pick for Andrew Bogut? It's like, I know it didn't turn out to be anything, but like, why?
Maybe
was
it's because it wasn't a generational year. They only rig it when it's supposed to be a generational talent. Nobody cares about
how many
last year's
times are you
first
trading
overall
your
pick.
best player on your team for a
But the
first
Hawks
pick?
still jumped up.
True.
They still
But I think
jumped up.
that might be the world where like this is 100% just odds. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because Zachary Richase or
Alex
Sarr is not about to come in and be Cooper Flagg or Anthony Davis or Zion Williamson or
So
LeBron
who
James
has
or
been-
Derrick Rose.
Think about guys who have been generational
Mm-hmm.
or that they deem.
The Spurs in 97.
They sucked though. They was really bad.
Yeah, I know.
It was really bad. So it ain't like they jumped. I'm talking about the ones where you jump up.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Because it would be like, if that was the case, all of the times that the Lakers sucked, they would have got, you know what I'm saying? The Lakers
Well,
had
they did jump up to get Lonzo Ball, didn't they? No, they didn't jump up that year. I think they were just genuinely
all
bad.
those years. They could have had Tatum that year.
But Tatum wasn't looked at as generational either. That's how that Markelle Fultz was like
That's
1A,
true.
1A.
That's true.
Um,
But even just the first overall pick, they would, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah,
The
they,
Lakers had a great history of
Derrick
drafting during
Rose.
that stretch
Derrick
too.
Rose
Wasn't
I
generational,
don't think
yeah.
we use the word generational.
but I think not
then.
he not generational, but he's from the city that ends
Yeah.
up getting him.
They was
Chicago
like,
was shit
how,
for
how
like
can we
15
make
years
this
after
can make
Jordan.
Chicago relevant again? Our
Yep.
third biggest market. We got to make that happen. It seemed like it was.
And
just
whether or
right
not
on the
Derrick
wall.
Wouldn't
Rose
the Knicks
is-
have had a first overall pick other than Patrick Ewing then? Because we sucked. Remember, we sucked. We sucked
Sure.
bad.
Yeah.
We would have been able
But maybe
to get
it's like
somebody.
when Knicks fans gonna sell out the arena, whether it's Emmanuel Mudiay or it's LeBron James.
So
you
that's
know?
why Chicago
Yeah.
did it.
Then why
But
the
it's,
Pacers
I,
ain't got
I
it?
still see the point because
The
you
Pacers ain't always gonna sell out.
Well, they don't make the lottery. They make the playoffs every
Yeah,
single season.
they always good.
They missed the playoffs
They-
like 4 times in 30 years.
Yeah.
What was their last lottery pick? Miles Turner?
That was Bader.
No,
and Dorn.
Benedict Mathurin.
Benedict
Benedict
Mathurin.
Mathurin.
Benedict Mathurin. Was that their
Right.
own pick though?
Had to be
Let's see.
what was that, like 3 years ago?
3 or 4. Time going by so fast.
They really do.
What were you going to say though?
Well, I mean, the original question was just like, how often are you trading your best player if you knowing you guarantee the first pick? Like, how much do you equate that guy is going to be better than your guy that you already
Nah.
have?
Again, we talked about this off camera, or maybe I don't know. Nico Harrison ain't do this knowing he gonna get the first pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
The luckiest man in America, by the way.
So nothing about this has anything to do with Nico Harrison.
No.
This was a fortunate thing from an unfortunate circumstance that you traded Luka, and then everything that went wrong
Went right.
went wrong.
Oh, I was
Everything
about
that
to-
could have went wrong. Like Kyrie got, because when the trade happened, that
Anthony
was part
Davis
of my issue.
played his first game and got hurt in the
My
first
issue
half.
was
Oh, I
you
was saying
trade
that him getting
Luka
that
to say
number
the
pick.
defense wins championships, and I'm not against that. But your return is now positioning you to have a team led by two guys who are getting older and who will have rich injury history. And I'm like, this could get bad. You know, I'm not wishing that. And then, as we saw, they both got hurt.
Mm.
But the fortunate side is you got the first overall pick. But Mike, to your question, I'm never trading my best player.
Even if that guarantees me
Not
the
those
first
players.
pick.
I would trade my best player. Like the Bulls' best player is who? Josh Giddey. I'm trading him for the first
Kobe
pick.
White.
Kobe
yeah,
White.
it's
I'm
a little
trading him for the first
context
pick.
to it.
Yeah.
I'll trade DeMontis Sabonis if he's the best player on my team for the first. I'm not
It's like
trading.
trading your best player who's also top 5.
Yes, I'm not trading a top 5 player because now I have to put the pressure on my young guy to become a top 5 player, and that's so fucking hard to do. It's so hard to do.
Yeah.
This is interesting because they might be able to bridge the gap. Because do y'all look at this team? Of course, Kyrie Irving's missing the first however many months. Get well soon, Kai. When you look at this team on paper as we know it right now, do y'all think that this is a championship team adding Cooper Flagg on it?
No. I think they're a good playoff team, though.
I thought it could have been.
I think it's just a lot to ask for a rookie.
If they didn't get the first overall pick. I think getting the first overall pick is a blessing, but it's also a curse at the same time. Because if you got 2 or 3, you now go out and make a money move. You can go get whatever other piece that you think could come in and make you a championship team to add to it. But now you're not trading this pick. You have to take Cooper Flagg. So you have to bridge the gap. A lot of teams don't like to bridge the gap. We saw the Warriors shut it. It's very hard to develop and compete at the same time. And it just makes you all over the place. So
I guess it depends on how much you believe in Cooper Flagg as a prospect. If you think he is generational, then you probably think that they can do something special in the next 2 years. If you think it might take him just more time to adjust, now we adding 2 years to the timeline. Anthony Davis is already in his 30s and Kyrie Irving is already in his 30s. So maybe the timeline never fits exactly the way Nico Harrison wants
But
it
I
to.
think it's just a blessing, again, like y'all said, because you have a different timeline. Like Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving is not the end-all, be-all for this team no more. If Cooper Flagg stays on the team.
I guess the question is, what's the pivot or how do you pivot, hypothetically?
Because you're not going to be bad enough to just get
this
another draft
timeline is
pick,
pushed
unless-
back already because Kyrie Irving's injury.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're not a championship team regardless because part of the championship equation is going to miss a significant amount of time. Second thing is what I don't like about it. Can Cooper Flagg really develop into the player you are potentially want him to be as the number 1 overall pick, generational, if he's on a team that's like this? There is. I'm not saying it's no chance.
I'm gonna say yeah. And this is the reason why, because Anthony Davis, as much as he has the ball and kind of like you want to force feed him the ball, he's not dominating on the perimeter, and like he's a very willing passer and stuff like that. And Kyrie Irving, I think at this point, he kind of understands when he needs to take over the game. I just think, again, it's a lot of pressure on Cooper Flagg, but I think he has the tools to develop in here, especially on what he already brings defensively. Like he could fit right in there, and
But
offensively.
I'm not saying he's not going to develop.
Yeah.
I'm
To his
just-
fullest, though,
I'm just saying though,
probably
if
not.
another team, if the Jazz got
Right,
him,
yeah.
if
When
the
you get
Wizards
to-
got him,
The keys to do what you want,
and
the
they're
mistakes
building
are cool.
around you, they're building everything around you. You're now coming to a team because I don't think Cooper Flagg needs the ball to be great. That's the
Yeah.
allure of him. Is like he does so many different things, but it's like the it needs to be accelerated. And the team ain't gonna be necessarily catered to. You're coming to something that's already kind of solidified versus like they would have all those other teams would have molded themselves around you, and you would have
No, I
had the
get you.
ability to play through mistakes,
I get
which he might be able to do in his first year because
No Kyrie.
yeah,
Yeah.
But
for
I
at least
think
half of the year.
playing along Anthony Davis, I think just makes his job. It makes his job a little easier.
Makes his job a lot easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Anthony Davis is already going to demand so much attention. You're talking about an all NBA talent. I mean, and
He ain't
also
finna get into that Stephen A. Smith bag. But we know who Anthony Davis
Out
is.
of Chicago, Illinois, former first overall pick.
He had 25 and 10 before he
Champion.
went down with the injury. And that was only the first half.
y'all think they start that big ass lineup where Cooper's at the 3, AD, and
Absolutely.
Lively?
Yeah.
What else would they do?
Yeah.
I mean, you put AD at the 5 and put Cooper at the floor. Go PJ Washington
Anthony
at the
Davis
3.
has screamed at the mountaintop how he doesn't want to play 5.
I'm just saying. They now
He gonna go to Shams again if you put him at the 5. Come on, man.
Yeah, true. They just got a lot of different options now.
Yeah. So many options that you expect them to make some moves, right?
No.
You don't think so?
I mean,
maybe
they'll
but
try. I don't see what they have that other people want.
Other than PJ Washington.
I don't think that's something that people are just knocking down the door for.
Yeah, no, they're not knocking down their door for, but I think
So, okay, they take PJ Washington. What could they get, realistically?
I think they need somebody that
seconds.
can create shots. I'm not saying that PJ.
Seconds?
yeah,
What the fuck?
Why would they
want
do
with
that?
true.
Wait,
I mean,
who'd
I'm
he
just saying.
say?
You asked me what would they get for him?
Because you highlighted him as something. He asked, could they make moves?
Who did he say?
I'm
He
not
said
being.
second round picks.
When we say make,
For why?
when we say make moves,
Yo confused look lasted like 1 millisecond. It was like, and then you
it's to
pop
get
right back
better.
out.
You're saying in a
Yeah, Nico
literal sense.
Harrison is not looking for seconds. He's trying to win a championship.
Yes, I don't know. You
I'm
fucking.
looking at without Kyrie Irving being there is like Spencer Dinwiddie's our lead ball handler / shot creator. Maybe you try to find a way to use what you have and the Lakers pick to go get a shot creator that can hold it down while Kyrie's out, and then that guy can
go get
transition.
Oh fuck no! You don't use that Lakers pick to get somebody to hold it down.
Yeah, no.
Hell no.
That Lakers pick might not be on nothing.
We're
Luka
going
on
to
the team.
chill. We're going to chill. We're going to chill. We're going to play this out. Cooper Flagg, get you some reps. If we can make some minor moves to help us financially for when this team does come
Cooper
back
Flagg basically played point guard last year, right?
together, nah. Zion James.
Hmm.
But
Not point guard, but lead creator, I guess, is more a better way to explain him.
yeah, I guess so. But again, that's you're going to ask a 17-year-old, 18-year-old rookie to come and do that on a team out of the gate. It's going to be tough.
With Nico being such a win now player, y'all think he's the type to try to entertain the Giannis thing if Giannis is available?
I don't think so.
I mean, he might try, but I don't think
Yeah,
the Bucks are.
if I
even
was him, I
paying
would at
attention
least
to
try.
that.
The only reason I say no is because what does it look like other than it being one? Like, what else are we doing in that?
The Lakers deal, and then
No, I mean, like, what salaries? Are you trading me Kyrie Irving's injury? You're not trading me Anthony Davis because you traded Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis.
you want to pair Anthony Davis with Giannis.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like,
Oh, money-wise?
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
they
it's
could do it because
it's like
How much
Klay
does Giannis
Thompson,
make?
PJ, it's $54 million.
so right. So I did a trade to get them Kevin Durant. And this is the game, but the game make money match. Gafford, PJ Washington, and Caleb Martin was enough money.
Nasty.
Say that one more time. You say Gafford, PJ Washington, and Caleb.
Yeah. You also have Klay Thompson's salary, but I don't know.
I was
if
gonna
he
say I low-key want to keep
Yeah,
Klay
you
Thompson.
kinda
If
need
I'm
Klay
getting them,
Thompson.
I need that.
in my little
spacing.
rebuild, I let them keep him because of the
Yeah.
championship DNA. But
Right.
again, the Bucks don't want that.
Yeah.
We're talking about Giannis. This is the problem I hate with
That's
like
just not enough.
somebody could potentially get traded is everybody get into the conversation of what the trade could be. And the trades I be seeing, I just be like, do we know who these players are?
You gotta throw the kitchen sink.
You
for
have to
Giannis.
throw the kitchen sink. There be
Right.
people that are saying Giannis could OKC and they don't give up J-Dub or Chet. Well, what the fuck are we talking about? They're just gonna give them, just give them 9 picks. No. No.
That's the shit people be trying to pull off in 2K, thinking they slick
Yeah.
or some shit.
I think Nico Harrison changed the way everybody thinks about trades.
Me too.
In
like you
a,
can kinda just get
in a
anything for
bad
nothing.
way too,
Yeah.
because it's like if we just never gonna see that in the next 5 to 10 years.
I was on Twitter and in a video,
Unless
and
it's Nico
people
again,
was
though.
like, oh no. I'm like, bro, separate that trade. Create that as an isolated moment in history, but don't look at that as a reference point for every fucking superstar that's going to be traded now because you're going to sound
We
stupid.
got 15 years of the other things happening where this Kevin Durant gets traded for 7 picks or fucking Mikal Bridges went for 5.
Rudy, 5.
The Luka Doncic trade is just an anomaly that shouldn't be referenced in any other trade ever again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
isolated. Put it by itself.
No other GM is falling for that shit.
Especially after they see the reaction of Nico.
Yeah.
Why would a motherfucker say, oh, he,
They somebody threatening his kids.
oh,
bro.
I'm gonna do it. Let me go do it. Let me go do it. What he did. He needs security. Let me be a jackass too. Hey, yeah, let me do that. Nah.
All right, second overall pick ended up being the San Antonio Spurs. They jumped up a couple different spots, and now we got to have a conversation about potentially trading the pick. Because we saw the report from Shams Charania. This is the first time in Giannis' career where he's thinking about different options, which is a weird way to frame some of the stuff. And I think immediately everybody saw when the Spurs jumped up, it's like, yep, it's happening.
Can we talk about that?
Sure.
What's going on, KB?
What do you mean?
Cousin to cousin, be real with me.
Is that a nothing
What
of
the
a...
fuck do that mean?
The article is just kind of a nothing thing, right?
It's a bunch of fucking.
That's why I
nothing.
didn't even talk. I didn't like quote tweet it or nothing because it's like, of course.
I wanted to
His
make
fucking star player has an Achilles injury. Of course he's gonna think about it, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yes.
That doesn't mean a damn thing. I'm sure he thought about it 2 years ago and 4 years ago and 8 years ago.
He might have thought about it in the third quarter of one of those Pacers games. Looking around, getting our ass kicked.
Yeah.
He might have been like, shit, I got some decisions to make.
I always wonder about stuff like that. Is that something you actually hear, or are you just saying like, well, if I was in his shoes, I would look around.
I feel like they
Because
probably,
part of the thing that he quoted in the article was when Giannis was on the Nass's podcast. And the Nass's podcast, he was like, well, I just want to win championships.
In the best case to do that, you have to leave.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, I wanted to make a video about it. I'm still going to make a video about Giannis, but, like, I ain't going to take this. But, I mean.
Also, Giannis has done a good job of putting pressure on his front office over the last 6 years.
At the same time, I can't be mad at Shams or anybody that's going to make the report because look how gullible social media is. You literally said he might think about it, and everybody is like ran off as if he went in there and demanded a trade. I don't react like that because in my mind, there's a world where we get a report like that just for him to stay. And it's like we took this entire offseason hyping this up for him to be like, I love Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving him everything that I got. And it's just like, until he says he is ready to be traded and he wants to be moved, I'm kind of like.
But he was that report like he want to go to a place with no state tax.
I know that was just kind of weird.
that literally made Memphis, Texas, and Florida as the only options.
Yeah.
But I can't lie though, the idea of Giannis and
It's a
Wembanyama,
fun thought experiment. For sure.
Yeah, it just sounds like some 2K stuff. Like
No,
something that
like
would be-
seriously, it's dope. I think they have a better chance of pulling it off than the Mavericks. They have good trades that aren't theirs, which I think we talked about on the Linear Show. But like, I even see somebody talk about it yesterday, where it's like this idea of Cooper Flagg being traded for Giannis is just they're not going to have shit. You got to get more than Cooper Flagg. You got to have some type of future, and the Spurs give you that. They give you a pick now. They give you some of they got the Hawks picks. They got the Rookie of the Year who just won it. So I kind of like the Spurs and some of those other teams better than just that number 1 overall pick personally.
Yeah. I like Vic and Giannis. Vic and Giannis would be a crazy
Yes.
pairing. I think I wanted to see Vic with like a defensive 4 versus like a Nas Reed type. I think Nas Reed is nice. I know he's been rumored as somebody who might go into free agency and the Spurs might be a destination, but Giannis is. Them both defensively being DPOY candidates every year would just be so crazy to see on the court together.
Yeah. I like the idea of it.
And then now they have
Bro,
they have a
you know
real
how
point
much
guard.
spacing you. I know Brook Lopez could shoot the ball.
Just read, don't say
Having
nothing,
Vic
don't
as your
react, just
spacer?
read. A source of
And then
mine.
it's like you talk about all that, it's still probably gonna have De'Aaron Fox. So it's just like I don't know. They could really have a whip going into next season.
They could. But here's the real thought experiment. Hypothetically, Giannis does request a trade. You are the Milwaukee Bucks. Would you rather have the 2nd overall pick and stuff, or would you rather have your own 1st-round picks for the next 3 years?
So you're saying trading with the Pelicans?
Making it a 3-team deal where something happens where you end up with your pick in number 7 and number 2 goes to the Pelicans. Would you rather have Dylan Harper, or would you rather have your own freedom to do your own tank for the next 3 years?
Who am
You're
I?
the Bucks.
You're the Bucks.
In
many of
a
those picks
hypothetical
is it?
Giannis trade.
I mean,
So you get 2 back in the freedom to get rid of a swap.
I would say this. The Spurs have a lot of guard play. So I'm very interested to see the Dylan Harper route. But I do think that this draft is a 2-man draft. I think Cooper Flagg is your number 1 pick, and I think Dylan Harper has done everything that you can ask of a prospect to be number 2. So I see mocks where he's at 4. Shout out to my boy Joel, sent me a mock from Pick a Side. Harper was at 4. I texted back immediately. I didn't even look at the rest. He is not going 4. You do not let a Harper talent drop 4. With that being said, I just value my own control of my future.
Yeah.
If you're going to trade Giannis, I think it is very, very key that you depend on your own pick. It is tough to be like, we got this Hawks pick from the Spurs, but then what if the Hawks make a move and now they not, what if Trey Young, Jalen Johnson, Zachary Richardson becomes an all-star, you know what I'm saying? And they got a nice little team where they are better than you projected them, and now it's like, fuck. But if you have your own pick, You know we control this ship.
Yeah.
If our picks ain't valuable, it's because we turn some shit around. We're a good team. So that's a great question though, because Dylan Harper is fucking good
I see
too,
both
though.
sides, yeah. Because if I'm the Bucks and I end up with Dylan Harper because I made that trade, it's just like you still have a long way to go in your rebuild, but you already got your foot in the door. You know what I'm saying?
And you don't have to, because then you also begin your own picks. We look at what the Jazz and the Wizards are going through.
Yeah.
Who's to say that your
You don't
picks
You
will
end up
ever
falling.
enter too?
Yeah.
You know
You
what I'm
just got to
saying?
hope that the odds don't have it happen 4 years in a row with the worst team is the 5th pick, which who the hell knows?
And do you plan on legitimately being the worst team? Because we
Right.
see teams that are like not good, but they fight
Mhm.
and they figure out a way to be respectable, and then it kind of. So I don't know. It's a lot to think about. But then here's the other thing, KB, what you said earlier in the show.
DeBonsa,
They're
Cam
going to say
Boozer.
the same thing next year about this draft.
Yeah.
The next year is the draft.
Yeah.
And then the year after that, it'll
What's
be
the other guard? What's the guard name?
what guard?
The top 3 guys is Cam Boozer, is
Darren
AJ
Peterson.
Peterson. So like if you the Bucks, you can argue like as of right now, maybe one of those 3 prospects is better than Dylan Harper. And then maybe you would rather have your own first round picks to
just to find out you're gonna be 5th.
right, yeah.
Just miss out on them. Damn, we could have had Dylan Harper. And Dylan Harper, he with the Pelicans going fucking nuts.
Him and Zion.
Looking like Cade Cunningham Jr.
Left-handed
just
killers.
going fucking crazy. And you like, damn. The
But
NBA is crazy.
I think
bro.
the Pelicans, even though they did drop, they look at it like, yeah, if the Giannis rumors are true, we have an opportunity to do something really crazy by just being involved.
Yeah.
If they are able to jump from 7 to 2 and get Dylan Harper, the route of that franchise, to me, takes a whole different thing. They can tell us that they would try to shop Zion. You get Dylan Harper, you're not shopping him. You now have Dylan Harper, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Zion, and Yves Messi.
DeJounte Murray on the team too.
He's out.
But he on the team.
Well, he's going to get traded when he comes
Oh,
back.
okay.
If I get Dylan Harper and DeJounte Murray is hurt, I'm pivoting, and I'm a DeJounte guy. That's my guy. But the business is the
You
business.
kind of got to do what's best for you.
Yeah.
Everybody just pivot away from DeJounte Murray. Everybody.
DeJounte ain't gonna give 2 fucks because he paid, ain't he?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think DeJounte. He
Oh,
should
yeah,
have.
didn't they sign him to an extension the moment when he got traded there?
I don't know about that.
Welcome
but
to Orlando, buddy.
I think maybe the Hawks did.
Oh.
DeJounte is a good enough player to where he's always going to have somebody's always
Some
going to be willing
interest.
to be interested. He's only 28 years old. 4 years, 120. So hey, y'all can pivot on me all y'all want. Make sure y'all pivot that money in that account.
Third overall pick is the 76ers. I think you brought it to the podcast. Was that last episode, 2 episodes ago?
Because in my franchise, they had the 4th pick.
And yeah, they jump up to 3 here.
Oh, yeah,
Even
I
though
remember you had
Daryl
text
Morey,
that to the group chat.
did y'all see Daryl Morey's reaction to it being number 3? He like had his head on the
On
table,
the
like
table. I saw
Because he
it.
thought he was getting number
he
1.
was hoping that it was gonna be number 1. And now they're in an
I'm
interesting
glad
spot
Philly
because like
didn't get 1.
me too, but the lesser of 2 evils is still the lesser of 2 evils. I'd rather they have one.
I really wanted the Spurs
the
to get
Dallas
it. I'm not
Mavericks.
gonna lie. I thought that would have been really dope if the Spurs got it.
What happens with Philly? People are speculating, or people speculated that Daryl Morey would trade it, and then he immediately kind of shut that down by our reports that they're going to be drafting at 3, which I don't know how much of that I believe. I think they'll still pick up the phone and try to do something with it.
You
He
have
has to say
right?
he has to say the political answer.
Yeah.
Because imagine
Keep
him
the
being
value
like,
up.
huh?
Keep the value of the pickup.
Yeah, and what if he was to be like, nah, we're not drafting anybody. We're not going to trade it. Now that doesn't even do anything for you.
It just doesn't allow him to do his due diligence either. It's
Yeah.
like that's so in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You got to review all options. You know what I mean? You can work some guys out and see. Is there a world where Dylan Harper ain't the number 2 pick? I don't think so. But the NBA has been crazy.
Yeah.
And what is really going to be on the market? I think we still don't know that either. Like what's really going? I think it's like Kevin Durant is like the only guarantee. But outside of that, like you said, if the Cavs lose, are they in a oh man, we need to really do something?
Yeah.
If the Thunder lose, are they like we need to really do something? So I think it's really tough until you are really in the offseason, really getting the reports of what teams want to do.
Yeah.
The NBA snaps their fingers so fast and so much happens
Mm-hmm.
that I think you got to be a little patient.
Because even if it only feels like Kevin Durant is one of the biggest names on the market, just give it a little time. Some names gonna pop
Something's
up.
gonna happen.
Because you have to.
Some names gonna pop up.
If Kevin Durant gets traded,
Yeah.
other teams to whatever conference now has to
Get
compete, right? You
It
have to
seems
get
like
better.
whenever the star is traded, there's a domino effect. Now there's more movement immediately after that.
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence.
Do y'all think another thought experiment that's not based in any reporting whatsoever? If you are the Suns, and it's like take on Paul George's contract and get 3, and you can have Kevin. Do you think about that? The 76ers also have 2 other tradable first-round picks too. If that
I would
matters
think
to you.
so, but before everything that happens with Kevin Durant is Carly going to decide that. Because depending on what I get back and how comfortable I feel with competing with that team, I might not even want to take on that Paul George.
What you mean?
If I'm the Suns, because Kevin Durant's gone.
Yeah,
Depending on what we get back, because we still want to compete.
but that's what KB is telling you. You're doing a trade with the Sixers. So you'll be getting the 3rd pick.
oh,
Paul
and the Kevin
George.
Durant trade?
And he said some other. What you thought he had?
I thought this would be a separate trade from the Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant might go to Houston or he might go somewhere else.
Before, but now that they got the 3rd pick, KB's asking, would you take Paul George knowing that you could jump up? The Rockets was never in a situation where they were going to have a top 5 pick for you. They maybe were going to have a 9th or not. Now it's a 10th pick, I believe what it is, or 11 or something like that. But
I probably wouldn't take that contract. It's just it's too long. It's too long. You still got another like 3 years on it,
Yep.
and I'm paying him over 50. Like I'm good.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
37, making 56 to
Man,
60 million
yeah.
dollars or something like that.
I'll say this. I don't completely disagree with Mike, but I would have to think about it. So, I
Yeah.
mean, to jump into the top 3, you would also have to do your due diligence because in my series, we traded with the 2nd pick. We got Harper. I don't know if the Suns are in love with what's after the top 2.
Right.
Are you really in love with Ace Bailey or VJ Edgecombe that you have to take on? Now, if I was getting Dylan Harper and I could solidify my backcourt of Dylan Harper and Devin Booker, I might be like, shit, Paul George going to have to come his ass over here for a few years. We'll be okay because Bradley Beal will be gone in a little bit. Once some of this money moves, by the time Dylan Harper is seasoned a little bit in the NBA, we're going to be players. But to do that and you're getting back guys that may not have as much upside as a Dylan Harper, that's where you might have to curve it. That's where you really might have to curve it. My question is there anything out there for the 76ers that can fill holes with that 3rd pick? You may not get Kevin Durant, but they, when healthy, it's still Tyrese Maxey,
Sure.
Jared McCain, Paul George, Joel Embiid, Quentin Grimes. It's not like this team is
Yeah.
we just had this team in the playoffs, a
Yeah.
significant playoff team.
It's hard to even say.
Yeah.
It really is because Joel Embiid is like,
Biggest wild card
yeah.
right now.
Paul George aside, Jared McCain injury aside,
If Joel Embiid is healthy,
yes.
they're gonna be where they want to be.
They're a 50-win team if he's healthy, for sure. 4th overall pick ends up being the Charlotte Hornets. Is there anything to say about them? Did they just get whoever does get taken in the top 3? So it's either VJ or Ace?
Yep. Which I think is kind of good for them. They should have wanted 1 or 2, and now with the 4th pick, we get whatever's left. I'd rather them be 4th than 3rd.
It's harder to mess up.
Yeah, yes. Because now it's like, hey, they took Ace, we got VJ, or they took VJ, we get Ace. So
I'm trying to find this article real quick about because not an article, it was a tweet that somebody put together talking about his fandom as a Charlotte Hornets fan and how they have been the most unlucky team when it comes to the draft lottery. Y'all remember in 2012, they tanked their ass off to be the worst team of all time.
ever, yes.
They got the 2nd overall pick in the Anthony Davis draft and drafted Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Then
I will say this. To defend the draft lottery, part of the unluckiness is their drafting ability. Because you can say y'all didn't win it, but bro, if 5 consecutive years y'all had a top 10 fucking pick, y'all could have still put together a good
Yeah, they
team.
could have put a
Yeah.
You took Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, you took Bismack Biyombo, you took Cody Zeller. Some of that has to go in the organization. I'm with them. You want one of those lottery chances, and having the 1 overall pick helps you. But
You got to hit on your draft.
1992, 2nd overall pick. Whose draft class is that?
1992,
Yeah.
2nd overall pick, I'm not sure.
Shaq. They got the 2nd overall pick in the Shaq draft.
I'm glad. Orlando was a
picture him in that
Orlando
jersey.
was a new franchise. and
So were
got
they
Shaq.
though. This is their 4th year in existence.
What was the Magic? That was their first year, right?
I'm not sure.
I believe that was the first year of the Magic.
And then the last one that they reference, some of these is like,
Might have been
oh,
rigged.
I'm sorry, 2nd overall pick of 2004,
Was he Mecca Okafor?
and that was the Dwight Howard draft.
Yeah.
So they missed Dwight Howard by 1. They missed him. They missed
Shaq.
Shaq by 1. And
Who
who's the
did
other
they
one?
take after Shaq?
They took Zoe. So it's not they got a Hall of Famer out of it,
Yeah.
but it ain't Shaq.
Yeah, but it was Alonzo
And then-
Mourning who had them as a very good team.
The Anthony Davis one they missed, and then 2 years ago they missed Victor Wembanyama, ended up with Brandon Miller. So it's like we are always one pick away from like a generational player.
Yeah.
And
But I think the NBA does that because it shows that y'all would get those number 1 picks and y'all wouldn't put supporting casts around them because y'all would have took Tejan Salon, y'all would have took Cody Zeller,
they did win the lottery in '91.
and they got Larry Johnson.
Yes, they did.
Shout out to grandma.
So then the very next year, you got a front court of a lot. So you wanted to win the lottery 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
You wanted to be given a championship.
Hey, it happened to the Cavs, right? And the Cavs had like 3 first overall picks in like 4 years or something crazy like that.
That's because they lost LeBron.
But yeah, now they get the 4th overall pick, and then we already talked about the teams that dropped, and big losers on those guys because what are
Yeah.
you supposed to do really?
I really feel for the Jazz. I think both of those teams could find a way though. This is when you do your work and figure things out. I think there's a world where maybe the Jazz could get a guy like Trey Johnson. You let him come in and be a guy who at least could be a prolific scorer for you to help with that because a lot of the stuff that they like, it's not end all be all. Right? You always want the number 1 pick, but I think some of these franchises have to also be ready to do some work. You know what I mean? You got to do some work. 5 is still a solid place to be to get some work done. Even if it ain't the franchise-altering guy, next year may be your year. So if you're going to get Darian Peterson or AJ next year, hit on these picks so that when you do get them, you're
You got a
fast
little
tracking.
collection.
Yeah, you got a little
You
collection.
got a little something.
I think that's important and that's valuable. I think the Wizards at 6. I would love to see the Wizards take a Darrick Queen at 6. I think Darrick Queen is so unique and interesting that you have to worry about his front court fit. But if you have Alex Sarr and
Yeah,
Darrick
that feels
Queen,
pretty
I
nice.
really like that.
No, that's got
That's
me
really
intrigued.
nice. And
That's
then you got
fun.
Bilal at 3. You have a really athletic, offensive, unique situation
okay.
going on there. Huh?
Definitely will be unique. But I know a lot of bricks is being shot in Washington. They put that team together.
Yeah.
You worry about that later, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't mean you fade a guy because he can't shoot as a 5 or a 4 man, but I'm just saying.
I think Alex Sarr has some shooting potential.
Yeah.
I think Bilal, corner, could be.
Just that one spot.
Just
He
I
Russell
like,
Westbrook from
I like
3.
him out of the corner when
Yeah.
he doesn't have the basketball. Cutting, 3-point shooting, crashing to get offensive rebounds. But it would make it very unique and intriguing because Darrick Queen would be a guy that can play off the elbows, pass.
That might be my favorite Darrick Queen spot though.
Already
Like
from
of the
that area.
teams, yeah, I really like him fitting on that team.
I
And
don't
that's
know
kind of what you got to convince yourself of now. Okay, we missed out on Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, all those guys. Now, who do we like the most? And Darrick Queen might be the guy for them.
because every year you go into the draft, if you're one of these teams, it's number 1 pick or nothing. Like
Yeah,
if
that's
if
what
that's
just
your
don't make sense.
mindset, then I can see why you guys are constantly here, because there are worlds where we've seen teams build without, like the Rockets. The Rockets have not had the number 1 pick. Jalen Green wasn't the number 1 overall
Number 2,
pick.
number 3.
Sengun wasn't the number 1 overall
Good
pick.
trade at the
I
deadline.
they
was gonna say,
did.
it's times where, yeah.
They got Green,
Exactly.
Tari Eason, Reed Shepard was 3rd. Amin Thompson was what, 3rd?
Fourth. Oh, third.
Third.
Wait, fourth?
Sengun was like 16 or 18. They did really good to not hit the lottery. So there's a world. I'm not
looking
not
at
trying to hear
what
that
he
shit.
went.
I mean, it was fourth and
Did it-
Sar 5th.
Okay, yeah.
Who
I
went
forgot if they
third?
went back to back or if they
Scoot.
was a spot between them.
Scoot went 3rd. Vic, Brandon, Scoot, Amin. Boy, no, y'all wish y'all would have got a Amin. But anyway,
Who do y'all have? Y'all picked what, 11 this year?
yes.
yes.
Who you taking?
He guessing.
No,
He
they
guessing.
did. I remember seeing the Portland Trailblazers put the 11.
I saw Trailblazers fans
Why
like,
you
okay,
don't sound so confident?
who are we trading
No, they
this
did.
for?
They
Oh,
do
I
have
don't know.
they do have 11.
Who do you trade it for?
Who did they trade the pick for? I don't
Or
know.
who do you want at pick 11?
I don't know. I don't
That's
know.
fair. Who do you want at the pick 12?
He don't know if he don't know 11.
Oh yeah, that's a stupid question.
The Portland Trailblazers are interesting. It's a lot of interesting teams in the area. Same thing with the Bulls. I'm just very curious to see what y'all do because the Blazers is like you have Scoot, Shaedon Sharp, Denny, Klingon, too many cameras. So it's like you got this team that's filled at all these spots, but also it's not.
And they were pretty good for like the last 2 months too. So that's why people are like, okay, we traded away with one of our contracts.
I think we could solidify a couple things, though. That would be very smart. I think we could solidify a couple things. You're not getting a center. I think Donovan Klingon has solidified that. I think Denny played his ass off to solidify himself as one of your wings, as a 3 or a 4. You really have to figure out how you feel with this backcourt. Because I see a lot of mocks where it ain't the same player, but it's the same position. A lot of mocks have them taking Igor Demon, Kasparis, like they're taking a guard.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what that means for like Scoot then. Because you're about to trade Simons, hopefully. But then,
I feel like we've said that 4 years in a row at this point.
Trade
That's gotta happen
Simons,
at some point.
and it feels like you
especially
open
if they
up.
draft another guard.
Yeah.
That's the best place that I can see. Me personally, I would pray and cross my fingers that Carter Bryant is still there.
I think he goes 12.
No. I don't think y'all take him.
I think he goes 12.
I don't know.
He fits the mold of
Where do the
Children's
Rockets
Carney show.
pick?
10.
I think the Rockets may get him before y'all can. Personally, we'll see. But I wouldn't.
It's a eye of the beholder spot, right? For like picks 5 through whatever.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But that's why I said even for the Trailblazers who picked one pick before y'all, they would have to like really pray and hope that he would even be there. Because
I just hope we don't go guard again. I'm just so tired.
I seen somebody on the time that was like, man, I'm praying that we can do a modest 2.0 and get Jeremiah Fears. But I as much as I would love Fears at home, I agree you can't go guard.
Can't go guard. But then again, maybe
I kinda want y'all
maybe
to
you
go-
just go best player available because nobody here should be safe necessarily. But that's not the way they think. We still bringing back all 7 of those guards from last year.
I kind of hope y'all go big.
I would love a bit, but like
I saw Thomas Sober.
I did see a mock that had him there. He had like the second longest wingspan in the NBA immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I did see that.
I haven't seen a
Georgetown.
single second of him as a player though.
He's
so I
really
don't know what
good.
to
He's really
expect.
good. He's like an old-fashioned big though. He's not shooting threes and shit. But he's really
He
good.
can catch lobs.
Really good.
We got a lob thrower.
He played at Georgetown, so it's hard to really. That's another thing with evaluating prospects. It's like he'll go from playing in Georgetown to then playing with fucking Josh Giddey. So I don't know what his lob shit is gonna look like, or how many he had in college, but I don't think he wouldn't be able to figure it out. He's old fashioned though. He's not like a jumping out the gym. He's really good though. I really like him. I like Thomas Sorber. I think he really had a really good year at Georgetown. Intelligent player. I think I would really like him on the Bulls. There's a lot of options though. How about is a wing off the table?
Better not be.
Because if Carter Bryant did find his way at 12, I would think y'all would be idiots to pass up on him. Personally, he feels like a way better
feel like
version
somebody
of Pat Williams.
That should be on a team that's trying to be decent.
That's why I said I don't think he could fall to y'all.
Because the Rockets kind of fit that
The
mold.
Rockets,
and the
the
Blazers.
Spurs.
Yeah.
Spurs got 2 picks. Which is their second?
I think it's
ninth-
after ours. I think it's
14th.
14th. I think
You're
it's
right.
the
You're
last
right.
pick,
You're
yeah.
right. It's after, yeah.
14th.
All right, let's move on to outside of the draft lottery because we do got actual basketball going on still. Second round of the playoffs underway. Which series y'all want to start on?
Let's
start last night. The Timberwolves. That
can
one
we
felt
get let's get that
not-
one out the way.
Yeah,
Let's
felt
get
like
it out
the
the
least
way.
interesting one.
This felt like the least interesting series of. That's actually crazy because like I know Steph Curry got hurt, but it's still just been like a drag. It's kind of been like, damn, can this shit get over with already?
I feel like it's because Steph Curry got hurt that it feels
Yeah.
like that.
Um,
It just feels like the Warriors don't really have enough, I guess, firepower, you should say, to keep up with the Timberwolves now that Steph is gone. You got Jaden on Jimmy, so that's obviously going to kind of wear Jimmy down a little bit more. But I mean, like the other offense that you're getting is just too sporadic. Like Buddy Hield could snap off, but he's not going to carry consistently.
Kuminga's been their best player.
Kuminga's been really good. He's been really good. He's actually should have been one of the players you kind of mentioned earlier about exceeding expectations.
Yeah.
Mostly because he just hasn't played. He hasn't been.
Well, yeah, that's kind of why I didn't think about him. He
didn't
just really
play.
started doing it these last few games. 'cause
He
Steph Curry-
really just walked into the fire and he gave him a 30-point game.
After, like, them giving him spot minutes, and he looked awful.
Yeah.
Like in the last series, they played him a little bit. It was like a 2-minute, 3-minute stretch, and he had like 2 turnovers, missed lay. I was like, oh, this is nasty. But I truly do believe that we've talked about this before on the show with the D'Angelo Russells of the world, the Kelly Oubres of the world. It takes a certain type of player to be able to like really be successful in the Warriors offense.
We saw it with Dennis Schroeder just literally a few months ago.
Right, he was so amazing in his first stop, went to the Warriors, not so good, then was amazing again once he left the Warriors. And I think Kuminga fits that as well. So now that they're not running their traditional stuff, you get to see Jonathan Kuminga kind of pop off. Like some of the shots that he's taking are not shots that he would normally be able to take if Steph Curry was on there.
And it's gonna sound disrespectful, but the thing that came to mind watching the game and then just seeing Kuminga kind of like being able to do him is just like he doesn't have to think on offense. I mean, with Steph Curry, you always have to be aware of where he's at.
You got to be one step ahead.
He just attack. That's all you have to do, and he's very capable.
He's been
of doing
amazing
it,
at that. I mean, last night he shot so many free throws and
Yeah.
so on, and I'm sure him and his agent are now super happy because they now have this little sample size. Say, see, Brooklyn, this is what I can do. They just want to empower me to do that in the postseason, yada yada yada. But this of the four have been the least interesting of them all, and that's only because Steph Curry's been out, right? Steph Curry played 12 minutes and some change, and he looked amazing in those 12 minutes. And you know, we watched this game last night together, and we were like kind of disappointed in Minnesota at one point. It's like, how are y'all not blowing the doors off the team? That goes to, hold on, before you go, Mike, to credit the Warriors defense for still being pretty damn good. But the thing that the Warriors don't have is that offensive upside that's like, we can, like, if we're Minnesota, we can go on a 15-0 run because sometimes you just won't be able to put the ball in the basket. And that's what happened with Anthony Edwards in that third quarter, and that was enough for them to continue to win that game.
Yeah, and part of the reason I feel like they haven't really just, I guess, really just gotten down and taken care of business is maybe because of the Anthony Edwards kind of just slow start, especially in the first half. Like, even if they get out this, well, they're probably going to get out this series, but moving on, he's going to have to, like, really find his rhythm over the course of the game.
Guess what? Next round, it probably won't be easier.
It's not.
If it's OKC. Because OKC is showing how good defensively they are. So, it has been a lackluster series, if you will. But, like, you do get some fun moments. Anthony Edwards took over that third quarter. Julius Randle scoring 19 points in the first half to keep them afloat. What Rudy Gobert did something last night that I can't remember off the top of my head now. I was like, okay, Rudy. A lot of Rudy.
It's just crazy to
like
see Jimmy Butler have like this weird, like offensive, just like he's not being aggressive type of style of bat. And it's just like, I thought without Steph on the court, he would have taken it to another level.
That was the only chance they really had is for Jimmy to.
Jimmy,
again, not asking him to drop 50 in the triple double.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was maybe last episode, I was like, I mean, I get asking for it, but we saw a lot.
Yeah.
He did a really good job in the previous game, though. He was good in that game. He gave him, like 33 or something
and then
like
kind
that.
of looked like he got gassed in the fourth quarter, and Rudy Gobert, like, contested him at the rim 4 straight times, and he missed, like, 3 of the 4.
It's been a long time since we see. Off camera, I was asking, like, man, what we getting from Jimmy? And you instantly look at me talking about some playoff Jimmy from the Heat, and I'm like, I don't know where this expectation
I've come to the conclusion now that version of him is probably just no longer there, and that's okay. I mean, but it do seem crazy to pay him $60 million to not be able to do that when Steph Curry isn't on the court.
I don't think you pay him $60 million to carry you if Steph Curry's not there. I think you pay him $60 million to do
together
what he can do with Steph Curry, and we saw the sample size. They were 28-6 or
really
something
good.
like that.
Yeah,
really good.
So yeah, you of course would love to see him do what he did in 2022, but we're in 2025 now.
And he was already older then.
Yes.
And what he was doing then was like crazy.
Yeah,
It was crazy to think that is what he's going to be time in and time again. I think as you set yourself up for failure, I think the reason he got traded is because the Miami Heat set themselves up to thinking that was what they were going to be getting year in, year out, regular season, in the playoffs. The fact that they was just sitting around like, oh, we ain't make no moves, but we going to be good because Jimmy just going to carry us. And it was like, nah. Like, Jimmy Butler is, well, how old is Jimmy? 36?
36.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. So I agree with KB. I think you made that trade to have him, Dre, and Steph be together. And as we saw when he was on the floor, Jimmy Butler was able to do everything. He was locked in defensively. Draymond running around. He can rebound. They did a very good job in the last series, gain, rebound, and sometimes in that game one, a gain, rebound, because they have the size disadvantage. He makes, he can screen, play without the basketball, and then occasionally he'll have spots and times where he gets hot and he's knocking down some shots to be another threat. So I feel like that was what you paid for versus like, let me put my backpack on like I did in Miami, bent over in the bubble, tired. I think those days are kind of what they were.
Tell me if y'all feel the same. I can't help watching Julius Randle in the Timberwolves like system and not think about like if Cat was there and just like the differences and kind of compare them a little bit.
Sure.
And it's part of me thinks that like Cat probably wouldn't be able to do the things Julius Randle that is doing right now with the Timberwolves in terms of like being able to kind of carry the offense in a little bit and do a lot of the playmaking and do a lot of the consistent scoring. Don't get me wrong, Cat can score the damn ball, but he hasn't honestly shown me that like he can be the number one decision maker, I should probably say.
I think that last one's probably your best point if you're asking, because Julius Randle's playing out of the post and creating, and we making fun of him because he jump every time he pass the fucking ball. But yeah, that's something that Cat has not developed. It's hard for me to say that Karl Anthony Towns wouldn't be able to keep you afloat because they did it last year.
I think they could be in the conference finals again if they still had Cat.
For sure.
He would have gave you a bunch of different other stuff that because Julius Randle, I mean, in game one they had a little zone, and I remember he was just not making that particular night. Cat probably
he probably
keep him out of, because the way they guarding Ant right now, he's seeing 2 to 3 bodies every time, and it's like Karl Anthony Towns, even though he's just not shooting the ball often right now in the postseason,
he's shooting them long.
Yeah, it's
he's shooting from low goal regularly,
just like casually.
Yeah, but either way,
early to possessions too, like casually coming up the court.
How many did he attempt last night? I know the game before that he was 0 for 1 from 3.
I think game 3 he made his first 3 of the series.
That's insane, considering how good of a shooter he really is.
Yeah.
Last night he ended up 0 of 3. So he just hasn't been hitting the 3-point shot. But the idea of Karl Anthony Towns hitting the 3-point shot prevents you from running that zone as much as they have been able to do against the Wolves.
I have not at all watched these playoffs and looked at either one and thought of the other.
No,
I've not watched the Knicks game and been like, what if that was Julius Randle? And I have not watched a Timberwolves game. Like, what if that was Cat, personally?
Yeah.
That's fair. I have thought about it, though.
Yeah, I don't
Mostly the other way for the Knicks. So I haven't thought about it for the Wolves necessarily. There's like,
if they had Julius Randle,
if they had Julius Randle instead of Cat.
The trade seems, I know it's not, but for me, it seems so long ago that I kind of, it is what it is. Like, I even look at Dante DiVincenzo and just be like, he's a Timberwolf. I know some Knicks fans still look and be like, man, that's our boy. And that's my dog. But like,
his Knick era wasn't that long, though, either. That probably plays a part. His Knick era wasn't so long.
Yeah, also wasn't. But yeah, I've kind of like, the trade has happened. We played a whole season. It feels like I'm in year 2, kind of. But I'm not saying anybody's right or wrong. But I personally have not. I'm just realizing that. Like, I have not watched a Knick game and been like, Julius, or, Julius is like a straight up Timberwolf to me now. I'm just accustomed to seeing him in that blue.
I like it because this is my favorite version of him.
Me too. So
Yeah.
like, I guess that's why too. I really like this version of Julius Randle a lot more.
This is the best version of Cat. Like, literally, both of them dudes switched teams and they reached new versions of themselves and they got better.
So is
You
this
think
a
it's the best version
win-win?
of Cat?
Yeah. Cat. I mean, not in the playoffs. He's been okay, but like the regular season version of Cat was fucking
I kind
phenomenal.
of see. I feel like
I feel like
I've seen Cat dominate like this before.
He's
think that
dominated with the Knicks though.
Yeah,
the
Just not in this
leverage
series.
or the stakes are different. Because I guess the year that I'm referring to, they didn't make the fucking playoffs, and now he did it on not just a playoff team.
Oh,
but a
you're
team.
saying when Karl Anthony or Julius Randle?
No, I'm talking about Karl Anthony Towns.
When he was, I would take him to start my franchise.
Yeah.
Number 1 in the surveys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what year that was because he's gonna make All NBA this season. When are they announcing the rest of these awards?
Yeah,
by the
Cat
way?
was an all-star
I thought
starter.
they said they gonna announce an MVP at the end of the second round. Is that what I heard?
Cat was leading the league in rebounding for a long. Did he end up being the leader, the winning rebounds champion?
I think it went to somebody. He might have.
I think the Sabonis won it again.
I thought it was him or Zubac or something.
Oh,
like
was it
that.
Zoo this year? It's 12.8. 12.8 is what he averaged this year, rebounding wise.
Oh my God! Too.
he was leading the league in rebounding for a very long time.
So yeah, the year before they traded for Rudy Gobert, he averaged 25 points per game, 10 rebounds, 3.5 assists. He shot 53% from the field, 41% from 3. They did make the playoffs this year. This is the year that they lost to Memphis in the first round. There you go.
It's the young Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Ant-Man's first playoffs.
It was Sabonis, by the way, at 14.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think
Golly,
when
that's
Cat
insane.
was leading the league, it was like 13.5. So it dropped a little bit.
But were you saying that this is the best version of him? I can't deny it because of, the stakes are just higher. You're playing for a team that's not just a playoff team, but like a game away from
What
the
did he put
conference
up this
finals.
year though? He had to put
Yeah.
up.
The numbers are very
24.
comparable.
Yeah, he
It's
put up-
24.4 points per game, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 56% from the field, 42. No, by statistics, this is his best year. This is his best year. Yeah. Wow.
Fuck you talking about?
Big bodega.
Yeah. And he's going to make All-NBA second team. I think I had him on my second team.
Yeah, he
I
was on
think I
one of
did
mine. I
too.
don't remember which one.
He might fall a third for the real betters or the real people because he missed so much time. And no. What am I talking about? He did not miss time. What am
No,
I
he-
thinking about? Jalen Brunson missed time. Jalen Brunson might fall on All-NBA.
You think so?
I think he might.
For who?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
He better not. He the clutch player of the year.
Big body Brunson. Come on now, baby.
You don't need to play a bunch of games to be the clutch player of the year.
Yeah, he been killing, man. It's so.
It's
I
so-
know
it's
we've
so-
talked about this a million times, but to see him to be able to do the stuff that he does on the court, it's just. I mean, it's not surprising anymore because now
Yeah.
we're year like 3 of him being able to do
still,
this.
Well, I
but-
think
it's
it's
still
still
surprising.
It's
It's
always
just
amazing to watch the small guards do what they do, like him and Isaiah Thomas. Like when you watch them, especially because they lefties, probably also that like they just have this unique
Especially
style.
because they lefties.
They
I
just
like
have this
it.
unique style of play that like
Yeah.
it-
Lefties do have a
and like they're so small making these tough ass contested shots. You just be like, how the hell did he get that
Was
on?
that 2016 Isaiah Thomas?
I feel like a little earlier. 2014, 2015.
Isaiah Thomas. Let's see. His best season was 2016, 2017, 5th in MVP, 2nd All-NBA.
This one they got swept by the Cavs?
They end up losing in 5 to the Cavs in the conference finals.
So they stole one. Okay.
What?
And then
Who? Let's go to some Twitter conversations though. Jalen Brunson or Isaiah Thomas more aura?
Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
You think it's easily Jalen? That
Jalen
season,
Brunson.
man. That Isaiah Thomas season
Except for
is
the
up there one of my favorite
say
seasons
this.
of all time.
Love Isaiah Thomas, love the season. Two different things.
shout out to the game where he played in his sister pads, by the way. Too.
Yes.
That was one of the best games.
Two
I
things
ever
I'll
watched.
say. As good as that Celtics team was, I don't think anybody really took them fucking serious.
Sure.
The Knicks teams ain't taking serious, but we there. We right there. We taking down the Goliath. Jalen Brunson is the clutch player of the year.
IT might have won it. You remember his name was King of the Fourth
He
Quarter.
would have won it.
He would have won it that year.
That actually is crazy that they gave him your name throughout the course of that
Yeah.
season.
Matter of fact, you're right. Yeah, I don't know.
Just
I don't know.
and he's smaller than even Jalen Brunson.
Way
Yeah.
smaller.
So that's even another thing.
Way smaller.
And he's getting to the basket and he's finishing
He was
through
having
traffic
50s.
and
But what Jalen Brunson is doing, he's breaking records of Michael Jordan. I understand that. He started the playoffs with like 5 straight games with 30 shit that they literally are saying the only other person to do this is Michael Jordan.
yeah.
And it's just like
But I
you
can't
never
rule
gonna
out IT.
understand the difficulty too, which especially just looking at the box scores when he's being guarded by people that are 6'8", legit 6'7", 6'8", 220 pound, 220 pound small forwards and just checking them, full court pressing them, trying to wear them down. Like, still, I'll give you 30.
I think
I'll
this
give you
series pushes him above that season. If IT and them had the 3-1 over Bron and them, I think that would have been like, damn.
Yeah.
But the fact that we're kind of doing it.
It might even be the moments that kind of like uplift, especially in the playoff moments.
Sure.
But I do not forget that playoff moment he had against the Wizards. Remember the Wizards were wearing all black to the funeral?
Oh, yeah.
They was beefing and whatnot, and he gave them business.
He averaged 27, 7, and 3 in that series.
Did he have a 50-point game in that series?
Let's see.
Or was it a 40-point game? 49, 53?
His high, he had. Hey, bro, shout out Isaiah fucking Thomas, by the way. 33 in game number 1. Game 2, 53 points.
I knew I wasn't fucking tripping.
53
Epic.
points.
That's insane.
Fuck them
So
up.
crazy it's so fun watching him and Brunson really just
Fuck them up. No.
Him being those
You gotta
dynamic
we
scorers.
got to give him a little bit more love because
Is he
he is
smaller?
way smaller than
Yeah.
Brunson. Brunson is already small, and it's like, damn, he's even smaller.
Yeah.
He's even smaller.
They got him listed at 5'9", 185.
Yeah.
That might be generous.
I seen Rusty Buckets had tweeted out. Actually, I got it right here. I'm gonna read it. But he was saying
Look how many jerseys he wore in his career.
This
God damn.
shouldn't be this
Rusty
way.
had tweeted, has there
Can
ever
you
been
guess
a
all these
guy?
teams?
No.
Has there been a guy, Donovan Mitchell's height, who can kind of play as big as he does? And I was saying the same thing about Jalen Brunson because you kind of
Iverson.
you kind of forget how small they are, but they play so like
Donovan Mitchell.
Can y'all guess the teams that Isaiah Thomas has played for?
Kings.
Denver,
Yes.
Charlotte, Denver.
LA.
Try to give some organization.
Okay,
But no, you're right though.
Sacramento,
Kings.
Boston.
Boston, obviously.
Cavaliers.
Phoenix, obviously.
Phoenix,
Yeah, those are first three.
Cavaliers.
So it's Sac, Phoenix, Boston, Cavaliers, Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Denver.
Denver's
Yes.
in there. You said Lakers. Lakers in there. Denver in there.
Then we have,
Charlotte is in there.
Yes.
How
Y'all
many-
are very close.
how
Y'all
many are we
really
missing?
good. Really good. He left Boston and went where?
And that's when he went to
Cleveland.
Cleveland. We said
Boom.
that.
Okay.
Cleveland. Yeah.
Didn't he have a stint in OKC?
No.
No. Hold on. We
Y'all
gotta-
are really right there.
We
I think
gotta
y'all
go
can
through
do
it.
it.
We gotta go through the standings.
Y'all have an
Is
East. Y'all have an East team and two West teams.
Is the
Did
West?
we say
team-
Wizards?
Boom. Wizards.
Wizards.
So now y'all have two West teams.
Is it Jazz on there?
No.
He played for 11 fucking teams.
That's what I'm
dude.
saying. I thought he played like he. You remember him in the jersey for all those teams?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got the Pelicans. The
Oh,
Rockets.
no. I'm sorry. Y'all got one more team. I'm going to give y'all this team because this shit don't even fucking count. He played one game with the Mavericks. That's the one team I can't remember him in the jersey. It
That's
says,
why I was
What
like,
year
it's,
was that?
it's 2021, 2022. It says
Okay.
one game, Dallas. He played 13 minutes and went 3 of 8.
What the hell?
Damn, he got his shots up in that
He
shit.
said, I'm a stick in this league. He ain't officially retired. Call his phone, man.
Was that a 10-day?
Had to be, right?
Like on the last game of the season? Like did they?
If that was a 10-day, they ain't get their money worth with one day. The other two teams were the Denver Nuggets
Right.
and the New Orleans Pelicans.
Okay. I know Isaiah Thomas, man. You're always welcome back on the show, by the way. We had a blast.
Yeah, I hope
We'll
he ain't mad
make
at
sure
us.
you got a frosty too.
Remember, we were supposed to pull up on him.
Yeah.
That's when we was at HOH. HOH said we had some other shit to do. So don't be mad at us.
I just got an email, and this is not, do not email me, okay? But the title says, I can't do this anymore. Parentheses, Wizards. Kenny, why does my favorite team have to not only be the most incompetent front office ever created, but also get screwed by Adam Silver literally every year? When is it our turn, Kenny? Sent from iPhone.
So he did. He just wanted.
Shout out to
a
Zach
vent.
Cunningham.
He just wanted a vent. He didn't even like ask anything.
No, he
didn't
said, when
propose
is it going to be his turn? I'm going to reply.
Okay.
You
Next
gonna
year.
respond?
You gonna respond?
Oh, I thought you was
But
gonna
he
make it.
got a shout out.
Hey, he was gonna make his day.
That shit always kind of blows my mind when somebody emails
Just a
me.
business email.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he went, you could have tweeted that.
Yeah.
I probably had a better chance seeing
no,
the
he
tweet.
wanted you to see that.
I don't really check the business email. It was just a thing that happened. All right, let's move on to the next series. We'll stay in the Western Conference. OKC versus the Denver Nuggets. At this point, it is 2-2 after the OKC Thunder held the Denver Nuggets to what, 87 points, 90-87
8 points in
final
that
score.
that first quarter is really what killed the Nuggets in this game. I mean,
Mhm.
they had a good rest of the second half, but
I didn't like that fourth quarter.
that first quarter,
Fourth
I think
quarter
the,
was pretty nasty.
yeah, the
too.
first quarter though is like putting up 8 points is just disgusting.
The only thing I'll say
It
to
puts you behind the 8 ball.
help
against a
them in
really
that
good
first
team.
quarter, OKC had 17 points.
Yeah, no, OKC had a slow start too, but you just don't want to be behind the 8 ball trying to play catch up.
Yeah.
They did eventually catch up, but
I'd
that
rather
fourth
have the
quarter-
slow start than a bad finish. Especially if
Yeah.
my opponent, who is a high-powered team, only scores 17 as well. When I saw that they were having that bad start, because I was doing something with Penny, and I pulled up, and I'm like, what? They got
Yeah.
what?
At
But
the end
then
of
when
the-
I saw that the quarter finished, and it was only 17-8, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I mean, that's
They kind of
terrible.
lucked out. If
Yeah,
you
they
will.
lucked out.
Maybe not lucked out
Yeah.
because they played good defense to get to that point, but
I get what you mean.
it could have
though.
been a lot worse.
Yes.
basically.
It was actually funny at the end of the first. The commentators, Jokic did his half court heave.
Mhm.
The commentator was like, "That's probably the closest they've been to making a 3-point shot this whole game per quarter."
That's actually crazy.
Yeah, because I think now I might get my games mixed up.
What?
One of these games, the team started off so slow that like their first 8 points were free throws. Is that this game?
No.
Okay. I forget what
No,
game I'm
right?
thinking about.
That ain't
then.
right.
Okay, it's another game, and not in this series. Then it was another game where team started off slow. They didn't make a field goal for 7 minutes, so
Was
they
it
had
the
7
Warriors?
points.
Was that my Knicks? Remember that game in Boston, or that first game? One of those games, OG Anunoby hit a 3, and that was our first field goal. But then they took the 3 back
Yeah, I do
because
remember
maybe that
his
was the
foot
game?
was
Yeah,
on the line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Maybe
it was
that's
like,
the game I'm
damn,
thinking
we
Yep.
can't fucking
I do remember
score
that one too.
shit.
about. That's Mother's Day, right? That's the Mother's Day game.
I do want to
Is
give
that
a
the Mother's Day game?
I think so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mother's Day. I remember where I was at when I was watching. So yeah, it was Mother's Day game.
I do want to give a lot of credit to OKC's defense. Like, we already knew they was good, but the defense they're kind of having on Jokic, it's like the ideal defense you would want. Like, they already have big bodies to kind of match him, but it's all the surrounding pieces on the outside. It's the Carusos, the Casey Wallaces, the Lou Dorts that are kind of playing two and playing multiple bodies. They're shutting off all out of these angles for his
That's what
passes.
you like to do in what?
In 2K, hey,
Mike say go.
we need to have videos in the Discord of just OKC defense and them playing
Replicate
two.
this in the game.
Me and
It's
Mike have been
playing
on
two.
teams.
It took us an hour for 24 minutes to get the first 2K reference.
Me and Mike have been.
No, he referenced it earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the reference?
I said I know I said one thing about 2K when we said Vic and Giannis is on the same team, and then I said another.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
yeah,
I missed 2 of them?
Yeah,
My
you
fault,
missed
man.
like 2.
Damn.
But me and Mike have been on a lot of teams playing a game, and we'll lose, and I'll just be like, it is what it is. And I'll just hear Mike going off, it is unreal that y'all don't know how to guard two. Like, if you can't guard two, you can't, like, you got to just stop playing. So I know when I hear Mike talking about guarding two, boy, it's the first thing I think about. But yeah, Isaiah Hartenstein, I got to get some credit too.
Yes, this is what you signed him for. This series right here is what you signed him for.
Jokic, I think the total possessions was 9 minutes. Jokic shot 2 of 9, 22% from the field. That's an outstanding job. You don't really hear that a lot. And I think they did a really good job also, too, not allowing the Nuggets to get what they want. So a lot of times in this game when I rewatched, the Nuggets did a screen from Aaron Gordon while Jokic has the ball to try to get Chet on Jokic because it's a more favorable advantage size-wise. Thunder wasn't going for it. My other biggest issue, too, and I know he has a shoulder issue, Michael Porter Jr. has to be a little bit more consistent for them, to give them something. Now, I'm not saying he should be able to knock down 5 or 6 from 3 like he did in the previous game,
No,
but to completely dry out and give
it
them
should have
nothing.
felt like it's hit or miss.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think
the
it makes
game-
them feel like they have to put Russell in because Russell feels like even if he's not knocking down the shot, he
giving
may
you
give you
something,
more
though. He's
offensive
giving you
rebounds, some
something,
energy.
yeah.
But then that goes into helping OKC because Alex Caruso, who's such a good defender, he just says, I'm leaving him. And now he's another body that's in the way for Jokic. And I just think it made Jokic take a lot of nasty shots.
That's why I think.
I don't know if y'all rewatch. Do y'all rewatch or do you just watch the one time?
I rewatched.
Jokic shots, I think in real time, you probably are just watching the flow of the game. You rewatch all 22 of his shots. He shot 7 of 22. He's taking turnaround one-legged fades over 2 people. He's catching it at the elbow, sizing up Hardenstein, who ain't moving on a Jokic jab, and he's just shooting in his face and missing. And it's just like, I can't blame him, though, because Caruso is he's right here.
Yeah,
because
driving-
he's like Russ
yeah.
is whatever.
And in game 1, Caruso has 6 steals because you turn your back to him 4 times. So
But to your point, though, that's why in game, I want to say it was game 2 against the Clippers in the first series. That's the game Michael Porter Jr. was getting all those offensive rebounds. And he was doing a lot of little things
He did
after
come
he had
out
a really rough
rebounding.
game. And it's like, that's what you kind of got to bring to the table to just help your team win. Because
He had 15 rebounds that game. 15.
that was a
it's
game
the little
after
things you got to do like that.
Jokic called him out. Not by name, but it's like if you can't get up for the playoffs, then you shouldn't be
Was
playing
that
the
round
sport.
1?
Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah, round 1. Yeah, round 1.
Apparently, though, according to Ramon Sheshmer, how do you
Shelburne.
Shelburne.
on, man.
Sorry, I couldn't.
You work for ESPN and don't know Ramon Shelburne, eh?
She said that there's apparently been
Ramona,
tension.
I think, actually.
There's been tension in the locker room between Westbrook and Aaron Gordon in the locker room.
They
multiple
just
times.
reported that?
Yeah, about an hour ago.
Hey, that was the last thing
What
I
the fuck are
expected.
y'all? I could, he said, hey, you got into it hard. You know that's my homie. You remember Aaron Gordon and Harden got into it? He said, fuck
Wait,
wrong with you?
that just
Gordon?
came out of left field.
Oh, he
Yeah.
got details.
Yeah, I got it right here.
What's
Okay,
up?
read it to us, brother.
Gordon had challenged Westbrook about his attitude outside the locker room. One player relayed why Gordon might have done so. He's immature, he said, of Westbrook.
How does she know? Who's saying this? He ain't just go up to Ramona and tell her that, did he? Like,
It says an anonymous player.
oh, anonymous.
Oh,
So we got a
somebody
snitch in there. Who ain't playing?
PJ Hall. PJ Hall out here
Hall.
snitching like a. No, I'm sorry, PJ.
Zeke Naji ain't playing enough.
What do these reporters?
No, it's got to be like Jada Pickett because Russell Westbrook taking all his minutes.
Oh,
He really bought into
Nah,
that one.
yeah.
Oh.
Y'all remember the day after the firing? Jaden Pickens got a bunch of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
then
like
right
three threes, yeah.
Yeah, then right after that, they was like, nah, we're going to play Russ more.
Yeah, and it's been the right move.
Yeah, it
until
has.
last game, which Russ wasn't very good in. The Trailblazers process is beginning to sell the team.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
All the money from the sale will go to philanthropy.
Philanthropy? Philanthropy.
That word. That word.
I've been there before. You know, sometimes words they hard.
Sometimes.
Say
all the time.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. That is crazy to see that Russ and Aaron Gordon haven't.
No, it's crazy
fucking
that you're almost
You can't
30
say-
and you can't say
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Oh, we can't move on from that?
No.
We was talking about...
We talked about words that can't be pronounced.
Philanthropy. I can get there. It just was weird to read.
Massachusetts.
It's a chew sound.
Okay, say it.
Massachusetts?
Say it low. Slow, I mean. Mass.
Ass.
Massachusetts.
Mass ass.
Ass.
What a man
Mass.
ass for the holy.
Massachusetts.
Say chew.
Chew.
What the fuck is so hard about Massachusetts if you can say chew?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
It's still not right.
Mass.
Can we move on?
One
We
last
do
time.
this all the
Matt, we ain't never did it slow. Matt, relax. Matt.
It's crazy.
Massachusetts.
No, you go fast there. Say chew, sits.
Massachusetts.
Sits. Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
All right.
Yeah,
Fine.
we're just never gonna get
Tongue
there.
twister.
We'll try again next week. Anything else about this series? OKC versus Denver. Who's in the driver's seat? I think we asked that
OKC.
on the linear show.
They
but
came and took home court advantage back. So, for me, and I just think they're a deeper team.
I still feel really good about OKC, and maybe that's naive because I did feel really good about the Clippers about 4 games in, and they lost that series.
And
too.
the way Jokic is struggling, it scares me a little. I just haven't seen Jokic struggle at this point. And I think last game, Lou Dort did a great job on Jamal Murray, too. He really kept him in check.
I got to say OKC. I continue to just look at the notes from the last game, and this is not a game OKC should be winning. I mean, J-Dub shot 2 of 15. The starters combined 2 of 23 from 3. This is not a good
This
win.
is a Nuggets win. The Nuggets should have won this.
Yeah, and we talked about extensively in the last episode how when the Nuggets are able to make the game like this, where it's down to the last minutes, it's a clutch time game, it feels more in the favor of the Nuggets. And it felt that way in this last game until we actually got to the fourth quarter, and they shit the bed. 1 of 12 from 3 in the fourth quarter is not going to ever win them a game. 3 of 8 from the free throw line, missing 5 free throws. Is just not it. And 8 bench points ain't it either, especially when OKC's bench is giving them 35 points. OKC's bench came to play. They went 8 of 18 from 3, really saved their shooting night. But yeah, I mean, this is a game where OKC shot 35, 24, and 77 as far as shooting splits. It ain't like this was like a knockout game or anything. So they still could go home, get that Shea game that we're all waiting for, and take the lead 3-2 in this series. Another thing that I really was pissed off about, I don't know if y'all remember, in the fourth quarter, there was a 5-second violation out of a timeout for the Nuggets. To me, that's just like, it goes against everything
unacceptable.
we've given them credit to be. Championship DNA, experience, and all of that, and you get an inexperienced violation in a very crucial time in the game. So
happened to the Cavs too in that last game.
did it?
Yeah,
Was the game already over?
it was not exactly, but yeah, it was in the middle of the Pacers run. Call
Was it
timeout.
second half?
Was it-
I think second quarter.
Don't ask me shit about the second half of Pacers.
I was
Donovan
But
not
shit-
returning.
That
Bet.
shit went to DVD.
So yeah, I would have to say the Thunder as well. But I do like the point that you made. These are the times where it feels like we felt this way in the last series, where it's like, yeah, the locker room
That's how
depleted. Aaron Gordon calf fucked up. Michael Porter Jr. shoulder messed up. You can't give Kawhi this momentum, and then they said, bet.
Yeah.
So
That's why OKC, it definitely feels like they're in the driver's seat, but the Nuggets, they seem like they're still right here.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
they-
it's a tied series. So, and also they have Jokic. I mean, Jokic can figure this stuff out. Maybe next game we see another version of game 1 and we got from Jokic and OKC.
my only argument to that is I don't even think a lot of the struggles are Jokic. Part of it is him, but I think if you're able to load up and him being the passer he can't hit anybody reliably to make them pay for loading up on him, then it's only going to be so much he can do.
Yeah.
Even with the 40-point game he had to start the game, remember, it took a meltdown for them to win that game.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of things
He has
went
missed,
wrong for
he
the
has
Thunder.
missed some like bunnies though. That usually it's like money for him though too. So it's been on both sides. I
Yeah,
could see
he's
him having a
missed-
better
he's
game, but
been, yeah.
OKC's definitely been doing what they need to do on Jokic.
Let's go to the Eastern Conference. The 1 seed Cavs are down 3-1 to the Pacers. We kind of just referenced it a little bit. one of the craziest
One of the most
smackings.
surprising things that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, man.
This was like one of them games where they just literally hit every shot, and on the other side, it just wasn't even going right for you too.
Yeah, it seemed like it was
how game
turnovers,
one was.
missed shots.
It was so bad that I don't even want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, what can we possibly say about that game?
I mean, like,
Miles Turner just out there just pulling.
and like,
Obi Toppin, everybody.
Ben Shepherd. hit
remember, I
his
think they hit like they were the Pacers were on a
over
run.
there cheesing and shit. You all right? Motherfucker got an email from his crush.
I was reading one of them ads we got to do,
They almost put up 100 points and a half.
bro. The last shot that they had.
He's still mad laughing about Massachusetts.
The last shot that they had before half, that Aaron Neesmith just like runs up court, and hits a
make-
fall
yeah.
away. It's just like stuff like that.
That's
You
a,
can't
that's
do
a
anything
sim to
about
end
that.
moment.
Yeah.
That's a sim to end moment. I know, like, the commentators got to be pissed.
Mhm.
I still got to act like I care about this game. That's 45-point lead. I still got to commentate. I mean, sometimes you get the best moments then because they just start riffing off each other.
Yeah.
But that was one of the games that was like by halftime.
TJ McConnell, another midi, sends
By
the lead to
halftime-
49.
I don't ever turn the games off. Muted it though.
Yeah.
I can focus on something else at halftime in this game because there's nothing that the Cavs can look at and be like, "Yep, this is what's gonna help us next game." You know?
I ain't gonna lie, I sat there and watched this shit because it was Mother's Day.
And it's kind of frustrating because it seemed like they had something figured out in game 3.
With that
Where
zone,
The
Yeah,
zone.
with the zone.
No,
this was
the second
no,
game of Mother's Day was this one. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It was this one. Yep. Game
Yeah,
one
it
was
seemed like in
OKC.
game 3 they figured it out. The defense looked amazing when Evan Mobley been at the top of the zone. It looked like they really clunked up but Donovan also had an amazing game that game. I think also offensively, they was able to control the pace. In this game, it seemed like they had no control over anything. There was
No.
no sort of sense of control of
And I
anything that
can't
the Pacers wanted to do.
I can't even blame them because it did get out to like an early lead, and it did seem like they were trying to get it all back in one shot.
I
But
give
you
credit
just-
to Rick Carlisle because they were super prepared for that zone and ready
Yes.
for anything. And once they figured out the zone and showed that they weren't going to bother them this game early on, the Cavaliers was like, oh, shit.
They panicked a little
Yeah.
bit.
They went out of the zone. They went back to the zone. Evan Mobley wasn't at the top. He was now on the baseline. And I think it put so much pressure. That bottom guy, at first it was Max Strus. And then Miles Turner made it seemed like they had a conversation with, like, be a monster and a presence on that glass because Max Strus can't box you out at the bottom of that zone. And so then that happened. Pascal Siakam was posting them up at the bottom of that zone. They were getting it in the middle, which was making it collapse. And then they put Evan Mobley at the bottom of the zone on the baseline, and he was trying to help. But then everybody had a rhythm going, and even when he was closing out, Thomas Bryant hit a shot in his face from the left corner. Right corner was Ben Shepherd hitting a three. And then once the Pacers are rolling, they kind of can't be fucked with.
Is it over?
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell
Yeah.
missed the second
Yeah.
half, dealing with an
Yeah.
ankle. It's over.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's
But this franchise has been there before.
Yep.
hey, gotta give
80
yourself
points
some
and a
hope, right?
half, man.
Maybe Evan Mobley does turn into Bron.
Oh man,
I don't know.
If anybody on the roster, he's got the highest chance, right?
and is Darius Garland gonna turn to Kyrie?
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, he do have the skill set to do it.
Yep. Sure does.
I'm gonna put money on that not happening.
He has a skill set, but my goodness, Kyrie's skill set just don't grow on trees.
Yeah. What a terrible way to end it if you're a Cavs fan, though.
Yeah, it's because you just had such a dominant regular season. You looked like does the conference finals look like it was gift wrapped to be not Pacers, Celtics, Cavs, and like it just doesn't work out that way.
You making a trade, KB?
I'm thinking about it.
You asked us about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's an
You have to
interesting
consider
question.
it.
No?
Especially after having
Darius
this.
Garland.
I think it's another rim possibility. Orlando Magic.
For what?
I have no idea.
Wendell Carter.
It's gonna be tough. Cause
No,
like,
good
you
old
just-
Franz Darius Garland swap.
Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, Franz, Mob, and Jared Allen.
Mm.
You liking that?
Got a little
Spacing
bit more
sounds a little
size.
clunky. Spacing
Yeah, that
sounds-
spacing do sound close.
It sounds bad with the way if Franz was shooting the ball decently, yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat. But the way he been shooting the three
Yo,
ball,
backcourt
I
can
don't-
shoot.
Huh?
You got Max Strus and Donovan Mitchell.
True, but
And Evan Mobley's a stretch now. You'll be all right.
That shit is a stretch itself.
All right, last series, Knicks up 3-1 against the Boston Celtics. Before we get to that, we still don't have the news on Tatum, but he went down with his injury late in the game. When he was
Praise up
having a
to Tatum.
phenomenal night,
Oh man,
How many points did he end up with?
39,
39,
40,
39,
40,
41?
something like that. It
He was in 40s for sure.
It was one of those games where Tatum was putting on a statement type.
He started off early too. Like them threes. Once he hit that first three, then he kind of just had that rhythm. That's when you see him get them heat check threes, and it's just like, oh shit, it's gonna be one of them nights for JT.
And it's just, I felt like when he was with him being on the court, obviously, I mean, it seemed like they had a really good chance of coming out of there with the way that he was playing. But the moment he went down, the whole momentum just shifted. The morale of the Celtics went down. And they said that the locker room was the quietest that they've ever seen it, and it definitely put a whole damper on that team. And it put a damper on me too. I never want to see a guy like Tatum go down, especially when you're talking about putting on a performance like that.
Yeah. I mean, again, we're hoping for the best outcome with his imaging that's happening. It might be happening right now. They said in the morning.
They said
so.
it was happening on Tuesday, so yeah.
But based on his reaction, it don't look good. And I'm not even thinking about this series. This series don't mean a goddamn thing. We're thinking about like the future for Tatum and the Boston Celtics with it. So again, prayers up to JT. But on the other side of that, the New York Knicks did end up winning a game, and now they're up 3-1 behind. I guess we kind of mentioned the Jalen Brunson heroics. Mikal Bridges also phenomenal in that fourth quarter, a couple big time shots. And
Mikal's had a great series.
I want to say him
he just finds a way in the fourth quarter.
him and OG have been like they've been hitting a lot of timely and big shots.
That's why I didn't want OG. I was disappointed when OG had it 1 of 6 that game before that. I'm like, you cannot take 6 shots, brother.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the weirdest timeline right now. Pacers Knicks conference finals is 1 game away from happening.
Yeah.
That's
Weren't they the
crazy.
second round matchup last year?
Yeah, but
yeah.
we got hurt.
But the way these
Yeah.
teams are playing, though, it feels like it's gonna be a good ass series, though. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like both teams are.
It was a good ass series last year.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. Once OG pulled that hammy, though, we was.
And it's crazy
I
that
remember
he
they
was
tried
touching
to-
the hammy this game, and I was like,
He tried to drug him up. You remember he came out in that
made
one
that
game?
shot like Kawhi.
Oh,
like Kevin
yeah.
Durant. Made
Yeah.
that 3 and hobbled his ass back down and sat down.
Yeah.
Who would y'all pick in this potential series?
and that's probably the Pacers. The Pacers is just, they've looked like the best team in the playoffs so far. So
Yeah.
I mean, when you look around the league, they've just looked heads and shoulders above everybody right now. They just play so damn good.
I don't know.
I could see the Knicks, especially Jalen Brunson closing out some games against the Pacers. Like both teams have shown that they can close it out, but JB, he's the best player in that right there. Like what you be saying, P? That's clutch player of the year right there.
It is. Yeah, I'll probably have to go Knicks. I mean, being able to beat the Celtics, bro. My fucking goodness.
But it's not like they beat the Cavs.
Without certain guys, there was injuries.
Yeah.
We just beat them. Yeah, I know Tatum got hurt and it was
Yeah.
a down moment, but that was at the end of the game. I feel like that game was wrapped up even before this.
I mean,
injury.
essentially, I guess they were down and got 2. They were down to Porzingis. Porzingis he's playing, but like he's clearly dealing with something. He's not playing at the level that Porzingis can normally play at.
I'm
either.
not saying it's not saying it to discredit the Pacers, but would you rather be missing Porzingis or Garland, Mobley, and DeAndre Hunter?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
To answer your question today, without like,
Because the Pacers are hooping though.
Yeah, the Pacers have looked amazing. For them to be up 3-1 against the guys.
Take your guy.
I don't know, bro.
Take your guy.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is tough. Both teams, like you said, they are beating the Cavs. You're
Yeah.
right. You know what I'm saying? Man,
I'm just thinking about like, okay,
the
we're
Celtics were
previewing
harder.
a series that doesn't exist yet, but I'm thinking about the series that Tyrese has gone through so far. Think about the Bucks, and it's like fucking Torian Prince and Gary Trent Jr. And then this series, he's seen like Max Strus. Next series, it might be Mikal Bridges or OG Anunoby.
I think about the opposite too, because Jalen Brunson went from Asar to right now. He sees a lot of Drew Holiday, Jalen Brown.
and that's gonna be like
Nembhard is not
Nembhard.
It's gonna be
either.
Or Neesmith
Nembhard or
Smith
Neesmith,
probably
which are
gets-
respectable,
yeah.
but I don't
I
know
get
if they're
what
on
you
the
mean.
same levels. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
They somehow do a good job of just defending as a team.
We're showing
Yeah,
a good job.
that's a really
What
good
I'm loving about the Knicks, though, is we're showing that Jalen Brunson don't have to play out of his mind. He has not had a really good series against the Celtics.
They need him for that 4.
Yeah.
Which he's shown that it don't matter if his ass is 0 for 35.
Time
He's
to
probably
time.
gonna take over in that 4.
Phew, I still don't know. We're gonna have to actually give our picks probably next episode. Both of these series could be over by the next time we do an episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else about the Knicks series? It feels like one of them ones.
The only
where-
thing
and I've heard y'all say it so many times, but it still just blows my mind when Jalen Brunson checks out the game and it's like Campaign or Miles McBride. It's literally like, man, try to be Jalen Brunson, and it's just like you can't do it.
You know, Campaign. Oh man, what is the stat? I wish maybe I can find it. There was a stat about Cameron Payne and his postseason stats, and Cameron Payne is a winner, man. Cameron Payne has like the second or third, I forget what, most playoff wins over the last like 7 years.
Right. He was on the Suns.
And LeBron
championship
said
run.
you would just have to lead 2-3 years.
What other
ago.
team was he on? He played
So-
for OKC early in his career.
The Suns finals run. He got a couple more runs with the Suns. I mean, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 series with the Suns. He's got his 3 series with OKC when they went to the conference finals. He's got 1 series with Chicago, and then he got 1 series with Philadelphia, and then 2
Boom.
series with the Knicks.
Philadelphia. That's what he was on last year.
So
Going against us.
68 games in playoff games in his career. He's 30 now.
I don't feel like
he
it.
was drafted a while ago, like 2013, 2014. 2015?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Murray State University?
Yep.
Yeah.
Go
I don't know what they
Michigan
are.
Hope.
Racers.
Racers.
Isaiah Cannon.
I'm not calling them.
Isaiah Cannon was a dog.
Former Bull, man.
A lot of them are from Campaign former Bull.
And then we got future Bull, John Morant.
Yes.
You on that bullshit now.
Yeah.
You on that bullshit.
I remember that job. I was like, man, I hope the Bulls jump up to get Ja. Like I was like praying.
Over Zion?
I wanted Ja. I don't know why. I was really intrigued by
you
Ja.
know who Ja was?
Yeah.
This one he ain't even really had the dreads like that. He had like the little mic. He was going through the ugly stage.
I can understand the
That's the draft where
skepticism
we
for
take
him.
Pat Will, right?
No. That's Kobe White.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still happy with Kobe White.
Pat
now.
Will draft is the Anthony Edwards, Wiseman, LaMelo draft.
Okay.
The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, those 4 picks.
Yeah. That wasn't a bad draft. Zion, Ja, RJ Barrett, Darius Garland, DeAndre Hunter's in that draft, Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes, Kobe White,
Somehow it's getting worse as you keep going.
Cam Johnson.
Okay, there you go.
Somebody else from that draft is in there. I'm in that class is in there. I'm forgetting.
That's the playoffs. That's the lottery. That's the Larry O.B. Y'all got some parting words for Larry? Because he got to go. He on
Yeah.
tour right now. I don't know if y'all know
Yeah,
that.
he on
He
tour.
going
He
around.
on a world tour.
Yeah.
I'm happy
Yeah.
you decided to stop by.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Larry, thank you for stopping through.
I just got hypnotized a little bit standing
Larry
into the
brings
reflection.
friends too. We got Billy in the building, man.
Yeah.
That's man.
Party over here, baby.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna have to get
We'll see each other again.
Billy info, man. He be everywhere. I'm watching TV. That way,
Because you did hit the group chat like
I
it's
sent that picture
Yeah.
at the Magic
that's
playoff
all.
game. Go to All Stars, see him. Show up to Mata's dunk contest thing. New World Wild West.
Seemed like
Oh,
a
yeah.
cool ass job, honestly.
Yeah.
Moving around the NBA like that. I appreciate y'all watching or listening to this episode of Numbers on the Board. Leave it a like, subscribe, go over to the audio platforms. Get 5 stars, man. We still trying to climb up those ranks. We got T-Double Pierre and Dreesen dropping a few days.
Special episode.
Special
this week.
episode. And then I have a special episode too.
I'm the guest. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
You just made them not
Right.
lose interest.
We didn't went down in ratings somehow.
You got his little podcast. His little podcast with Reese.
But somebody that,
Ringside report.
Tag team talk.
Tag team talk.
Ringside report is crazy.
That was what it was.
That
gonna
was
be.
one of the
Oh, that's what it was?
Yes.
Okay.
The
Okay.
tag team.
talk.
Talk.
With Mills and Reese.
Yeah.
Now on audio platforms and
Hey, man.
and visual.
I want y'all to get a new cover art.
What's wrong with our cover art?
In that episode, we're gonna talk about it.
Say less.